Hey everybody and welcome! Today we're going to be doing the review for Friday the 13th Part 1, 2, and 3. I'm actually really excited. Joining me off camera is Puginator 2020 and Billy Peddle. Some of my first followers. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Alright, first of all, I want to welcome you guys here today. How about you guys talk a bit about yourselves? Like, what are your favorite movie genres and how long have you been watching your favorite genre for?
I am a huge and fanatical sci-fi and fantasy. I just got into horror movies this last year with Miss Puginator here because she's obsessed, I believe, for her entire life, right? So I think I've been, what is that, broken?
Sci-fi and fantasy.
Converted?
I just got into...
She's just checking it to make sure everything's okay. Honestly, it's nice to have that just in case if we have a disconnection. Because trust me, it happens more than you think, especially in the area. That one must have froze.
You want me to push it?
Maybe try to give us a second.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, we have a technical difficulty. I don't know why my tablet's been acting like this. I swear to God, this has been a real pain in my butt. Give me a second, I have to do this.
So how long have you been watching horror movies?
My
actually?
entire life.
Your entire life.
Since I was 5.
Oh, God.
Well, we at least have a horror movie expert here. Good
One
Lord.
of my old-time favorites, Night of the Living Dead.
Bang.
Okay, that I can completely understand, honestly.
It's epic.
It's a fantastic movie. And but this time we're going to be reviewing a different movie. We're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th Part 1, 2, and 3. And honestly, I am actually kind of excited because these are the 3 movies that made Jason Voorhees look, and eventually was his start, but not the way you intended.
Right,
After all, if a lot of you horror aficionados know that it was not Jason Voorhees who was the first killer. It was actually his mother, Pamela Voorhees.
Shout out to, girl power. That was awesome. That was such an epic, plot twist. And look at that beautiful knit sweater she was wearing while killing all those people. She didn't have anything on it.
Well, until she had her head
together.
cut off. Sorry,
Right.
spoiler alerts. Actually, wait a minute. Is that really a spoiler alert? Because everyone has parodied that scene 1,000 times over.
Right. I love the reemergence of the lovely knit sweater in the second movie. That was great.
Oh, Lord.
That was cool.
The one where that guy was wearing it?
No. Well, actually, yeah.
If you
That wasn't the same one.
Hey,
though.
if you two want a drink, I have this here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Alright, so, at this point, we're going to be talking about a very interesting, because we're going to be doing just like we usually do before. We talk about the story, characters, music, design of the movie, and the atmosphere. That includes the design of the makeup, the costume design, as well as, of course, the practical effects that was used for the kills. So, honestly, and also, I did my research, not only just watching the movies, but I also watched James A. Janice's Kill Count. If you guys want to check that channel out, it's called Dead Meat. He basically talks about horror movies, and actually a lot of the horror movies I watched was actually thanks to him.
Like he started it all, right?
I'm shocked
More
that
like
I didn't know about it.
he basically brought me aware of some horror movies I'd never seen before, and I really wanted to check them out because, Tales in the Hood is actually a really good movie.
Classic.
I actually was very surprised.
I'm
It
totally
is
going to
good,
have
it's
to
fun.
check out Dead Meat now.
It's a really good channel, and I highly recommend you guys check it out too, because good lord, he covers a lot of movies, even some that I didn't even know existed, like there's Bucket of Blood from, I think, the 1940s, 1950s, I
Carnival of Souls. That's an excellent
Oh, yeah, I do remember
and
that.
disturbing, obscure one.
As you can
gotta
tell,
look into
we
that,
all
yeah.
have watched horror movies. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna be asking you guys what do you think your score is going to be by the end of this?
For the first film?
For the first film, and we're gonna do one for the second and the third.
I think the first film is actually my favorite. So I think the score will be pretty high.
Alright, so what number?
So
Between
it's
1
10.
and 50.
I'm gonna get close to 50, I think.
So
Out of all 3.
I need an exact number.
You need an exact number.
I'm going to say 42.
42? Ooh.
47. Yeah, I'll say
42, 47. I actually think
Cha-ching.
I think I'm actually gonna be a little lower than you guys. I'm actually gonna go 37.
Oh, that's mean.
I'm not entirely saying it's a bad movie. I just think that if my opinions as well as everything else has been going on,
Objective.
I'm gonna be objective. Yeah,
You have
because
to consider Kevin Bacon.
Right, we're a little biased.
Yeah.
We're a little biased.
So
I'm not biased when it comes to that. Too.
No.
Even though he was in one of my favorite horror movies of all
Tremors.
time, Tremors.
Amen.
Good Lord, I love that movie. And if you
It's
guys,
it's
please,
a
I highly
tradition.
recommend it.
It's a family tradition.
Oh
Our
yeah.
marathons.
Oh yeah. We actually.
so much
what,
so.
Me and
Right.
Belly Pedal actually did a marathon of. Actually, no, there's 7 movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, hard to believe there's 7 Trevor movies now.
that's crazy.
It's no wonder that Nathaniel has like completely, or Mr. Retroactive, has completely wiped out his poor DVDs. We've had to order a new set.
Of the Tremors, yes.
Unfortunately, yeah. If you
But
guys
it's a
don't,
tradition.
if you guys
It's a
don't know, Billy Peddle here is actually my god sister, and Puginator 2020 is my mother. She's actually the reason why I'm into horror films is because of her. So, if you guys actually want any advice, want to know more about horror movies, and honestly hear her opinions, then check out this video as well as, of course, if you want to ask questions, leave in the chat, and I'm willing to pass it down to her and see if she's willing to answer them as best she can.
Right.
All right,
Queen of
so
horror.
now that pretty much, she's the queen, you're
Just
the
call me
princess, I'm the
queen.
damn
Oh,
king.
princess
Just
of
call me
horror.
queen.
Right, I love
My
it.
dad. Here's the thing. My
Queen.
dad's the prince of horror. I'm the king of horror.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Because I know more about horror movies,
You do,
sadly
you
enough,
do.
more than my mother now, which is
Right.
scary.
You know details that I guess I have neglected.
Yeah, but at
over
the
the
same
years.
time, you have a larger repertoire of horror movies I
Under your
never even
belt,
come
yeah.
close to.
That's true.
I'm
Which
novice.
honestly, I think that's the
I'm
reason
willing
why
to
I
learn.
think this is the reason why this video is gonna work well, because it's basically me knowing the details and her knowing the whole genre as a
Right.
whole.
And me as a fresh fan, you know.
Honestly,
Right.
I agree, because it's a fresh perspective as well as 2
Right.
veterans here.
I have baptized.
In the name of horror.
Yeah.
I love that line. You should use that line more often. But yeah, expect these 2 to return in future episodes
Absolutely.
because, good lord, there are a lot of horror movies to cover, and I'm really excited. Alright, so, first of all, we're going to talk about the story of the first Friday the 13th, and if you guys are hearing in the background, that is my cat right there.
Tasmania.
As you all know, she's my little mascot. Come here.
Yeah.
Here, give me a second. I'm actually going to bring her up here. No. You get your 5 seconds of fame.
There she is.
There she is. So as you can see, here she is. Here's
Tasmanian.
my little
So cute.
Tazzy.
And she's
I
black.
love you.
Like a black cat, right?
Yep.
Like a
So it
horror
kind of works
film.
out.
It's all on theme.
Strange thing is,
On
I
point.
have more good luck with black cats than I do bad luck for some reason. I don't know how that works.
Cause Taz, she's got your back.
Yeah, in this case, yes. But there's also, if you guys actually remember my Five Nights at Freddy's episode, she actually jump scared me live on camera, and I'm still a little ticked at you, you little turd.
She's just, playing to the
I
audience.
know, but at the same time, she caught me off guard so badly, I almost had a heart attack.
She's, just on theme.
Oh, so you want to join in for an episode for the Nightmare on Elm Street episode? Oh, that'd be interesting, because we're
Very
gonna,
cool.
if we do that, we're covering the first 3 movies.
Right.
Absolutely.
Those are fun.
Yep. Honestly, that's a better trilogy than the Friday the 13th, in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah.
Even for Halloween, Halloween, I think is not that. Halloween 3 is actually not a bad movie. It's just, I think if they were to do an anthology like they planned,
Right.
they should have had Halloween 3 as the second movie.
Right.
Instead
I
of
like
making a sequel.
the new one that they did. With,
The remake, yeah.
Jamie.
Technically,
our
that's
goddess of
technically
horror.
it's
Love
it's
her.
more like
Devil Rejects?
No.
no.
With the
That was
Jamie.
that was the
original.
Jamie Lee
Yes.
Curtis, the original.
The Scream Queen.
I was
Yep.
thinking of the
Actually, here's a little
one of
tip.
the remakes, the one with the
with the Devil's Rejects.
yeah, the Devil's Reject gal.
Yeah, she was from the the Rob Zombie remake. But
Yes.
here's a little bit of a tidbit. Her mother played the woman in the shower scene of Psycho.
Right.
Yes, that's
Which
so
honest-
cool.
So
Which
it's
is
like
honestly
a legacy. It's
Yeah.
a legacy.
a very strange and very disturbing legacy of them literally being hunted by psycho killers.
Right. But Jamie,
Like,
like
what the hell?
She, like, avenges her mom because she doesn't get killed. See how it all, like, plays
True.
through?
And now there's 2 others in the Halloween family, so that's gonna be interesting.
There shall be.
But yeah, it says right, got some opinions on Friday the 13th. So, all right, so that's gonna be awesome.
There will be.
All right, so let's talk about story.
Right.
We'll start with Puginator here. What do you think of the story in its entirety?
I think
And if you guys are hearing that, that's an ice cream truck in the back. Damn it! I should have just gotten some ice cream before when they arrived. Well, I have to miss out again. Great. Thanks, Ice Cream Man! And speaking of which, I may have to cover the actual Ice Cream Man horror
There's
movie
a
that came out.
movie?
Yes, there is.
Yes,
Oh
there is.
my
You'd be
God.
very surprised.
I
It's
do not
actually
own it, though.
it's dumb, but it's also
Yes.
funny.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Oh Lord, is
I think as a whole, the first movie is pretty good, pretty well rounded.
Yeah.
You know?
The whole, the revenge factor is always a solid.
And the
solid
twist.
Yeah.
I like the twist at the end.
Epic.
Yeah,
Epic
definitely.
twist.
A lot of a lot of like boom boom killing.
Mhm.
You know, and
you could definitely tell she was on a mission.
Yeah. She's driven. You know?
And honestly, for what it's worth, I think that, yes, I agree. The whole twist that it was Pamela Voorhees, again, is a really good twist.
It is.
Especially if you think
And
about it back
it
then.
makes
If you
it
were in the
worthy
movie
of
theater.
watching again and again because
It's the mom.
Yes.
Oh,
it's
damn.
epic. Yeah.
Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Excuse me.
We've done this before. But, honestly, it's actually pretty impressive, though. Especially since they do give a bit of backstory on how the whole thing started.
Right.
So you at least have a clue as to who
What
might be the
drives
killer.
her, right.
How she keeps her sweater as
clean as she
clean
does.
and tidy as she can.
I love how they.
I think that's
you can
just
always
horror movie
tell-
logic.
Right. Logic.
Trust me, you'd be very
Tradition.
surprised how many horror movie
Tradition.
tropes there are in the horror genre. Heck, Scream makes fun of that crap.
They do. I
Like,
love how.
I'll be back. Like in that whole because
I
here's the
hear a
thing.
noise out in the dark. Let me go leave the cabin, the safety of the cabin, and check it out because
Yeah.
that seems rational.
If you think about it,
Without
guys,
a weapon.
I'm just gonna say this outright. Friday the 13th came up with a lot of the tropes that Scream would make fun of years later.
Right.
Definitely.
Because, good lord, this thing set the standard. As well as, of course, Halloween when it comes to some of its tropes as well.
Right. I
And,
really like
yeah.
how they, whenever you interact with the unseen, unspeaking character, you know that that's the killer, and you know that this person that's the character that's talking to this person is going to die. You know that's going to happen. Like, that was like, it kept happening. It was recurring through the first film. And you always know, oh, this person's going to buy it. It's done. They're
yeah.
over. Because the person is not
yeah.
they're talking to, interacting
Totally.
with, is not speaking, is not being shown.
Yep.
You're like, you're dead. It's out.
Yeah.
So-
Actually,
although I think we've kind of mastered picking up on who's going to die next.
right.
Anyway.
That's true. The whole final girls,
the final girl
the
trope.
rules.
Yeah.
The trope.
Yeah.
That's
Just
pretty clear. You're like,
rules.
oh, well, she's righteous. Oh, well, she didn't take off her shirt.
Yeah.
I like that what's her name? Alice, the survivor from the first one. You can tell right away she's going to be the one that's not going to
totally.
die because she's like, she goes to unbutton her blouse, but she never actually
Changes
takes it
her
off.
mind.
Actually,
Right?
here's
Although she did smoke some of the marijuana. And,
yeah.
I think
she had
that's
a beer.
one that slides.
Right.
Also, but here's a question. It makes you wonder, and this is from Phoenix Fire 7851. He asks, it makes you wonder, what if Pamela didn't die at the end of part one and actually killed Alice?
Right, in the second film?
So, do you think she would have? Do you think the franchise would continue with her being the killer, or do you think it would have been a
Jason
second movie
would've-
would have been Jason rising up?
Jason would have come back to avenge his mother's death.
No, I meant like if she survived.
If she survived.
Oh.
So the theory is that because his mother gets killed, he rises from the dead, correct?
I think that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I think she would have kept killing because
Actually,
how do you satisfy your thirst for revenge if You're never going to get your person that you
And
want
there's always
back.
going to be...
Once you get a taste for blood.
And there's always
right?
going to be the camp counselors.
Some fool taking their shirt off.
Actually,
busy,
having sex.
Phoenix Fire actually states that he thinks that Jason would have reunited with her, but would have killed her, as he wouldn't have known that it was her mother 20 years later.
Oh, that's true. Wow,
that would have been a really good second movie instead of what we got.
Honestly, I actually agree with Phoenix Fire, guys. That sounds like a great idea.
That's excellent.
That would have been an amazing idea for a sequel.
It would have been really good.
Good plot twist.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden he kills his mother, and he doesn't even know that it was her until it was too late.
That's true.
Good Lord, but that would... Oh,
that would have
my
been
Lord.
cool.
That's like the whole thing with what you said about how he went from like a child.
Right. Here's a question. So he's undead, right? Because he died.
Actually,
drowned.
There's actually a theory that he actually didn't drown and die in the lake. He did survive, and he's been living in the forest of Camp Crystal Lake ever since.
As a swamp kind
No,
of man?
more of just like a mountain man, basically.
Okay,
Just
because he does go through puberty, which I felt was really unfair, because he's already undead, and he has to go through puberty and become a man.
That's
no,
messed up.
According to the theory,
the universe
I
being
think
really...
that's actually what stayed in the movie. He did survive, because you notice that in the second and third movies,
he's a
even though he's deformed, he didn't die. He just literally survived and got out of the lake.
Right. He sure looks creepy in that last one.
Yeah. He's got a whole
not the last one, the
Avenger.
third.
In the third one, he's got a toxic
God,
Avenger vibe about him.
Yeah, but actually, he actually gets worse in the sequels. I'm just gonna say it. He looks far worse.
Well, I mean, he's
got
rejuvenative. Like,
more
how
like
do you say that word?
he has basically
regeneration powers.
Yeah.
So,
basically,
and he seems
I
to control the wind sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, now that I think is just for plot convenience.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Is he like? Does he have a magical power? Like, is he a dark force?
No.
Or what?
Actually, no. I'm thinking about the other movies.
What about the fifth movie? Was it the fifth one where they're?
I think it was the sixth one where they talk about that whole slug thing that was inside of Jason, but we're not going to go there.
A slug thing?
Yeah, you really don't want to know.
Wow.
But you'll have to watch it sooner or later. But still, what did you think of the story?
I like it. I think it's viable that the mother would be so distraught and so messed up from losing her son that she would come back and avenge him. However, the fact that he isn't dead, if that theory stays true, if he's not actually dead, why would the little jerk be hiding in the woods, not telling his mom, "Hey, I'm not really dead, Mom. It's cool. You don't got to kill people."
Yeah, that's
messed up. Like, the whole family clearly has some mental health issues that should be addressed.
Right.
You know, if that's how we're gonna roll.
Alright, this is
But
right
I think
here.
it's awesome that the mom avenges him. I think that's cool. That it's a woman. I mean, how many movies from back then had a female? Even now, how many movies in the genre have a female?
Nowadays, more of them are showing up now, but back
They're
then,
stepping up.
Yeah,
They're
they are
stepping
definitely.
Now, back then, it was definitely not that
shocking,
common.
right?
Well, because typically serial killers are males.
Right.
Okay, now that is total bull. Because
It's not, though.
if you guys know, there are female serial killers that have gotten away with their murders.
Oh yeah, but there's still
Though
more
they
men.
did die in
if
the end
you
by
look-
cops, but whatever.
If you look up the statistics, there is more. I mean, I've watched. What's that? Most Evil.
Right.
That show, Most Evil. I've watched.
Puginator here is a aficionado of true life serial killers.
Yes,
so
I
she
am.
knows all that. She's got the statistics.
So
Yes.
honestly, it's going to be good to have her opinion on this stuff.
Right.
But it's just right here for Phoenix Wire. I know in one of the comics that they used an illusion of Pamela to stop Jason, but he attacked it to show how evil he is, and I think Jason did drown, but somehow rise to the surface and ventured in the forest, as he had no idea how to find his way back to Mommy due to his deformities.
Oh, that makes sense.
Could be.
That actually...
He does love her. He clearly loves her at the end when in the second film when Jenny?
Yeah, Jenny, when she used her child psychology to help out.
Against him.
Reverse psychology.
Because he clearly loves her, his mother, so I would like to think better of him, even though he's bad, that he wouldn't just hide in the forest.
Honestly, it's...
That they would reunite and be one, you know.
Honestly, I think this is also... okay, and this is also where I'm going to bring up the remake, only for a second, because if you guys are wondering why A lot of people think they call it Friday the 13th. I think they should have just called it Friday the 13th Part 2 because it's mainly a remake of that. It's not an intent, and even 3 for that matter. It's more like a combination of the two.
Right.
Not even showing how all the camp counselors died in the first movie. So
Right.
So it's not really
That's
a
true.
remake
It's sort
of the
like
first.
a sequel. The first one has a total
It's a remake of the
vibe.
sequel. It's a remake of the sequels.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing, honestly, but
Right.
still.
No.
Heck, if you think about it that way, then that means it did succeed in against Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3.
Right.
So, yeah.
Totally.
Alright, so now that we've discussed all that...
Oh, wait. We can't move on from the first movie until I point out the fact when they first show the kids down at the lake. Like
Yes.
the first lake, they're chilling in their swimsuits and all that. And they scroll up, and there is Kevin Bacon's enormous package. That frightened me more than any of the kills.
Yeah, it was.
That
really
was so much Speedo. I can't.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
disturbing. I would just like to put
Why
that
would
out.
anyone
It's a
wear a
new
Speedo?
level.
I'll never know.
It's a new level on Speedos, boy.
A new level of horror.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh.
And I love him too.
I do, and I have to say, I like the under the bed killings. That seems to be like
with the
his tradition.
spears up through
Wow,
the yeah.
that's like a nightmare of mine personally. I don't like that at all, but I thought
There
it
was
was
quite a
super
few of those,
impressive.
yeah.
Then you would hate the performers who actually lay on the bed of spikes.
Ooh, no, thank you. No,
Alright, so now that we've basically talked about the story, and yes, I do agree, there's a lot of good stuff in the first film when it comes to its story. What would you rate at a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I'm gonna give it an 8. Because I like that the mom is
Yeah, I'd say 8
That's
too.
awesome. And
Yeah.
she has a solid background story.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't it's all very implied. It's not spelled out like some movies do.
Yeah.
Well, and I actually think for such an old movie, really, because it was back in I don't remember what year, but the acting was relatively
It was pretty good.
I mean,
It's
you
pretty
look
good.
at it like 3. It's like, holy cow!
We'll
Where
get to-
did these people
Oh, yeah.
get their acting skills?
They didn't.
I mean, they didn't.
Yeah, and not to
Like
miss...
scoop people off the street for this stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that movie soon, and I mean very soon. It's happening in this episode. But honestly, I'm gonna give it a score of 9 because I actually thought the story was possibly one of the best that Friday the 13th could have
Yes,
done.
out of all of them.
Sad thing is
Definitely.
that I know the franchise did not do well at all for the rest of the series. Sadly
Oh, that's
enough,
a bummer.
That is
but there are a few exceptions. Jason Goes to Hell is a very good one. And
Which one's the ones?
that was
Freddy
the-
versus Jason.
Freddy vs. Jason was
We-
pretty decent, though
We
I
just
hate the
watched
parts with the teenagers.
We watched part
Yeah, that
of
was
the
pretty dumb.
one
Yeah,
with
seriously.
The spaceship.
I'm not even.
And then-
Oh, Jason X was a fun one. That is what
Oh,
I am going to.
Daddy like.
Hold on. Hold on. I am going to say that each.
disturbing.
Hold on. I am
Yes.
going to say, for as much as the movie sucks, it is one of my guilty freaking pleasures.
That is hilarious.
I love the
The
like,
Friday the
Thursday
13th.
jump
That is it.
to the future. That.
I was so
pretty
excited when
impressive.
the Mythbusters did an episode where they actually froze a pig's head just to see if it was possible to actually smash it on the table like they do in the movie.
Yikes.
Well, how did it turn out? Is it a myth or is it-
Unfortunately, yeah, we're gonna segue for a moment, but yes, for that MythBusters moment, unfortunately, it was busted. It was not possible to
Aw,
actually.
What a letdown.
It was, but however, at the same time, they were able to replicate it
That's true.
afterwards. So I think
Okay,
it was still
okay.
pretty cool.
That is.
Um,
it's cool that
in
they
this
tried.
case, if I'm still, I'm gonna give it a 9 though for story.
Can
for
I
the
up
first
mine
movie.
to 9? I really feel I didn't think it out. I want to give it a 9 because I love Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah, me too. Because
She's cool.
actually,
and she's still like kind of sweet.
well, and I think
And then
the plot twist at the end being her,
Though,
that kind of
That
made
deserves
the movie.
respect.
yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the
really.
thing: was there any need for the close-up face shots?
No.
No.
That was disturbing.
That was like,
This is very-
why?
And her haircut was kind of terrible, but
Okay.
it was, it was true to the time.
All right, you guys
True.
ready?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go on to characters next, and honestly, I do like the cast of characters in this one.
Yeah.
They had a really
Yes.
good group for this
They
particular.
good
I
acting,
was so
pretty good
sad
acting.
about Billy, not just because we have the same pretend name, but I really liked him and Ginny. I liked the two of them together.
Are you talking the wheelchair guy, right?
No, that's
That-
the second
that's
movie.
the second
Shoot.
movie.
Which one's Billy?
He's the one that they're both left at when they were playing Strip Monopoly.
Oh,
impressive!
Yes. Oh yeah.
Strip Monopoly.
I forgot about that.
Right?
Part.
Yeah, his character.
They're
was
the two
good.
left in the cabin, and he goes out to investigate a noise.
All right, dummy.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, and he gets killed the worst. Like
Yeah.
he's like hanging up there,
Slaughtered.
like just that
Also,
I'm bad
Phoenix
at
Spire
names, sorry.
says, I like how Pamela was sweet old lady 1 minute, next minute she was insane. She was insane when telling the story of her son.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Like the story, like the memory of the loss, like drives her way over the edge, and
Yeah.
she gets all stabby, killing.
Okay, I gotta admit,
Right.
I do love the actress who does Pamela Voorhees. She did a
great.
fantastic
She's
job.
great.
I was so sad they never brought her back to Freddy vs.
That's
Jason.
a shame. That's a shame.
That is bull, because
That was
good lord,
Why didn't they? Did she?
because she refused.
Oh. Okay.
She refused to
Why?
come back. I really don't know why.
Probably
Yes.
didn't go over well the whole reception at that time.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well,
Probably
heck,
got, like,
at least they didn't
blacklisted
get.
a little bit, you know.
Here's the thing, though. At least they didn't get that much flack like movies like
Wow.
Evil Dead and freaking Silent Night,
It's
Deadly
so funny
Night.
how
right?
things have
Where they actually got
changed.
death threats.
Rocky Horror Picture
Oh
Show.
God, yeah.
Right.
Gotta love that one.
Yeah, back then we had a moral ambiguity that was actually kind of high back then.
Right.
Not nowadays.
No.
Which, honestly, that makes it more fun, but at the same time also a little bit more disturbing.
Right. Totally.
Especially since I grew up right in between that transition.
Right. No,
But
I love her as an actress. I
Yeah.
loved her character. She's my
Yeah.
favorite character.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, out of all the characters, she definitely is the most memorable for me.
Mhm, for
Because,
sure.
good God, does she go nuts.
She does. She played it so
Well, she's
well.
a good actress.
She's the best actor out of
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think she did have some previous movies before she went into Friday the 13th, so I would not be surprised she would put all her all into that one.
I'll have
Right.
To, I'll have to
We'll look it
into
up.
that
We'll
now.
check it out. Respect,
Yeah,
Mrs.
yeah.
Voorhees,
Mm-hmm.
Mama Voorhees.
Right.
Not to mention all the other actors. I do agree they're all very good in their own right.
Right, in the
And,
first one especially.
And actually, in a way, you do kind of feel bad when they do get axed
Right.
off.
Well,
Right.
the first kill wasn't that
It was one of the
little
camp
hitchhiker gal?
counselors who didn't make
She
it.
didn't
Yeah,
even make
that
it to
was
the camp
sad.
properly. She was going to be the cook.
Yes,
as I recall.
that was sad.
She was really naive and happy and
Mhm.
joyous and so
And then
sad.
she would
She
eventually
had lovely
die.
hair.
Yeah. Very lovely hair.
She did.
Yeah,
That
so
was sad.
Betsy Palmer. Oh, so Betsy Palmer only did Friday the 13th, and as she needed money for a car. Wait, really?
You gotta.
Oh,
do
thank
what
you so
gotta
much
do.
for the donation. Thank you, Bebo Games.
Thank you, people.
Also, Betsy Palmer, Friday the 13th, and thought the movie was shit.
Oh.
Wow. Well,
So
you know
that
what?
makes sense why she never came back for the Freddy vs.
It
Jason.
has a lot to
That's
do
a
with.
shame.
It has a lot to
Shame.
do with
You
how
have to
people.
respect your own art. Come
Yeah,
on.
and it all has a lot to do with how people perceive that kind of
Well, especially
art
at the time.
at the time.
Yeah,
that
especially-
era we were in.
I bet
Yeah, that was back in
it's just
1980.
not what she expected
No.
the outcome of it to be.
She was probably hoping for more like, Wizard of Oz or something. You know, I don't know, but
More
to be cast
more
in
like
a
cinematic.
yeah, to
Yeah.
be cast as the
I
villain,
thought
the
that was
killer,
cool.
the
I
psychopath.
love it. I think
you
that it
know.
was. I really did.
Now, personally, I'd be like totally down with doing the psychopath thing.
Oh, of course.
Totally down.
Come on. I think I would too if I got a chance to be a
gotta
villain.
step
in a horror
every once
movie.
in a while.
Yeah.
You know, keep things
Yeah.
real.
Also, congratulations on you getting first place in for Victory Royale in Fortnite, and also glad you joined us today. But when it comes down to it, honestly, the acting was honestly some of the best in the
totally.
franchise, in my personal opinion. And actually, that's not really saying much considering the rest of the acting in the other movies is from laughable
Subpar.
to just more like subpar to laughable to just outright horrendous.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And I'm not even joking.
Oh.
There's only a few exceptions. Like I said, Jason Goes to Hell is an exception. It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
They actually wanted it to be a finale with that one.
When we
That
were
is
watching
until
it, we
later.
were like guessing, like in 3, we were like guessing who's going to go next. Like,
Right.
Boom,
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
basically,
But again,
yeah.
that's the trope.
Yes.
I mean, it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
it's supposed to lead you
Yeah.
like
Yes,
the
true.
audience to
They almost make it so obvious that you can't
help
Can't
you
miss
guess
it.
right.
you can't miss it.
I think it was a miracle that they even got Betsy back for part 2.
Like
That is
her
true.
head.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, the sequence when
Oh yeah,
what's
yeah,
her name?
yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah.
She the blonde actress
Jenny.
Jenny, whatever.
Yeah, basically, it's pretty cool that they did get her back at least for that scene.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Well, they
For
could
the
have
flash,
taped.
for the,
They could have
psychological
tapped. They could have
Taped.
taped that
and just replayed it,
That's
and
true.
just replayed it.
threw it in.
You know, they may have knew that they were going to.
That
Go
she
for the
wasn't
cigarette.
coming back.
Well, or that they were just going to do another one. So
Right.
this was like a perfect opportunity to, you know.
Film a little extra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So for characters, what would you rate this one?
Oh, I'm gonna give that a 10.
Wow.
Because I think they have the best character. Well, I'm still obsessed with Mama Voorhees. I think her character really, she holds up the whole story in that first one.
I'm going to say a 9 myself because overall, I mean, 9's pretty high.
That's
really.
true. But
And
I love Mama Voorhees.
That's true. That is true.
She's getting the 10.
So you giving it what?
I'll give it a 9. I was going to say 9.5, but I don't know if you do halvesies.
No, normally I don't.
Okay, so do
No,
9.
yeah.
I'm actually going to give it an 8 because mainly there are a few actors that kind of just go along with the woodwork. I really hate saying that, but
Right.
unfortunately,
their
that
background, their
seems to be
filler
the-
characters.
Yeah,
For
so
the kill
I'm-
count.
But
right?
like I said,
It
Alice.
was a huge kill
It
count.
was.
Yeah, but still, Alice,
Jason's definitely
Pamela
on it.
Voorhees, those two definitely steal the spotlight, along with a couple of other characters.
Right.
I think they definitely hold the film on their own.
They
if you
do.
think about
Kevin
it. So.
Bacon.
No, I'm not. Actually, I think that he was a complete waste.
He was
He was
not.
very pretty filler.
Yes, he was.
You must respect the filler.
Like I said,
You gotta have kill count.
yeah, but
bodies,
basically,
you know?
filler. He was
Yeah.
meant to
He
die.
was filler.
Sure. Pretty much everybody on there was meant to die.
Heck, even Alice in the second movie, but we're going to talk about
Such a
that.
shame.
Nah, come on, it's
But
a
she
Friday the
can't
13th
really
movie.
be a
You know he's
final
going to have to
girl.
die.
She can't be a proper final girl. She's a survivor, but not a proper final girl because she had a beer and she smoked pot. So
Considering
broke
that
the
she
trope.
went through all that, I would not be surprised.
Right, no, I totally think she should partake in things that give her pleasure, but, you know, that's the trope, right? You
Alright,
can't break
yeah.
the cardinal rules.
True. And
She
if you guys
broke
want to know the cardinal rules, watch the movie Scream. Trust me, one of the characters
Right.
basically writes them all down.
Right, right?
Yep.
But
Oh my god, that was
Sydney,
a good
Sydney
scene.
you have to give respect to Sydney.
How you
in
doing?
that
I was a
film.
stream. Welcome back.
Hi. You have to
Um,
give respect to Sydney though because she's like she's the modern final girl.
Yep, yep,
because
yep.
she fights back. She doesn't need someone else to save her.
No.
Nor does she have
From
like
Scream.
completely
Oh.
lose her mind. You
Yeah.
know, because that's how the final girls always go. They have to be saved by a male character,
Who dies?
And then
Right.
they lose their mind.
and then or they lose their mind.
Yeah.
In this particular, okay, now that we're done with characters, time to go with music. And
Oh,
honestly,
dear God.
the music in the movie is iconic. You just can't,
Yeah.
you can never forget the theme song for Friday the 13th.
Again, I think the
I-
first one is the best.
It is.
The
But I
third one
I
was
hate
atrocious.
the like. What is
Oh, yeah.
that? It sounds like Lamaze. It sounds like
Yeah.
Lamaze. It
Yeah.
drives me completely insane.
Yeah.
I despise that.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
It
Trust,
is.
now I will never ever forget. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it
You
again
can
and
put it
again
on your
and
phone
again.
and
And it would,
yeah.
I hate it though.
ringtone.
I hate it.
I still like
Worst
Halloween's
music ever.
I still like Halloween's
Ugh.
theme tone the best.
That's
but-
true, yes.
Yeah.
But it's horrible. It's iconic, but it's deeply irritating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, the theme song is, like I said, iconic. It's something
Yes.
you won't forget in this
Oh no!
franchise.
As long, even if you try.
Unbelievable.
Even if you don't know horror films, you'll know it.
Right, right.
True. And for what it's worth, it's kind of amazing how the franchise has gone from what it was doing all this time. It's kind of amazing in this case.
How it's come, like, it was
Full
sort of
circle.
like blacklisted, like, you know, B-movied back in the day, and now it's like, it's one of the most iconic franchises you can point to now.
Especially
that everybody knows
especially
about.
considering that Jason Voorhees is one of the only characters with one of the highest kill counts of all time.
Right.
Because according to, I've done research on this from multiple sites, as well as, of course, researching the movies themselves, he has over 300 kills.
Right.
Which is
He doesn't
downright
hold back.
insane that dude has that many kills under his belt. It's actually kind of scary.
It is. He's definitely the
Good
most
Lord.
ferocious out of all the serial killer movies.
Definitely.
He has like no qualms, you know. He's like, oh, this person walked in front of me. I'm just gonna cut their head off and move on, you know. He has no. It's not like with the mother where it was like, oh, I
No
have a
forethought.
specific.
There's
Like
no
I'm gonna go for
forethought.
these camp counselors,
No,
right?
yeah.
Like because they're
basically he kills anybody that gets
right,
in camp.
anybody, like
but with,
literally anyone.
But at least with this one, yeah. But with the music, though, it sets the tone for a lot of the stuff.
It's ominous. It's definitely ominous.
Like the music that was the fight scene between the fight scene between Alice and Pamela. That one had a great music for that one.
It did have.
And it ended on a very climactic note in that one.
It did.
Very well done in that regard.
Yes.
So, what would you guys give this rating for music?
I'm gonna say 7.
Yeah, I'd have
because
to say
it irritates me. It's iconic, but it's irritating.
It's creepy though.
I'm actually going to go higher, and I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay.
It does. Because it's really, really creepy.
The music in the first movie, fantastic. It absolutely sets the tone, and the theme song is one of the most iconic
it's
in
like the
movie
movie
history.
we watched the other night, Strangers.
Right.
That phonograph, that record that was playing. It's like something that you'll never get it out of your brain.
No,
it'll
freak you out.
BioShock when they did that, but we'll go to that game when we come to it later. Now we're gonna go on to design. Okay, now design. I gotta admit, the effects for the movie were pretty dang good for what it was worth.
Yeah.
Actually, did you know that the throat kill? Someone actually had to blow into a hose and push the fake blood out through the fake body and neck.
From underneath the bed?
Yeah.
That's cool. See, I have so much respect for
the dude actually had to blow into a hose just to get the freaking blood out.
Spurts, like you've punctured an artery. It was great.
That's gross.
I have so much respect for practical effects.
I do too.
Practical effects are so awesome compared to this crap that we have nowadays. Like
the CG.
Oh, look, there's a solid black outline of that cartoon evil weapon coming at you. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The practical effects from that era, I think, are like by far the best in the entire genre, because even though the skin is like a Band-Aid, like it's nobody's actual skin color around the actual wound.
Right.
But the look of it, like the what is that, a spear, that one?
Arrow.
The arrowhead coming up out of Kevin Bacon, poor Kevin, his throat, that was epic. That was disgusting. That was cool. It was like spurty. That was epic. So
actually,
massive respect for practical effects.
Actually, Phoenix Fire says that the camp layout was interesting as well. Like how it does look big, yet it's very small camp.
It does look huge. It does.
Good lord.
And it's very iconic too. The whole you can
setting.
tell in the next movie. You're like, oh, we have arrived. We're here, even though it's
the dog, the dog,
Jason.
And the lake, and
whose dog was that? Because it wasn't Muffin.
Oh, that dog. No, I said
but
the
that
doc.
was in the second movie.
The doc.
The doc. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
Oh, I liked Muffin though. He was cute. That was the girl's dog.
Right. Is that the second movie?
Second, yeah, I think so.
See, they all have such a cohesive look that we cannot tell them apart. Look at that.
I'm kidding.
I actually have to say, though, there's actually a couple of areas. I honestly love the makeup effects for, like, when the body was found when it was hanging and it was completely mutilated.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was pretty impressive.
That was,
we were
Billy.
talking about.
Was that Billy?
Yes, that was Billy. We were talking about that being
when he's
the
hanging
grossest.
on the door? Is that
it? Yes.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
Billy was nice. He was nice.
COVID.
Yeah, but for what it was worth, though, the amount of stuff they did for this movie is pretty impressive. And I'm glad there was practical effects back then.
Right.
Because
actually,
nowadays, most movies are going back to practical effects. Yeah. And I think that's some of the best parts out of it. Like, Sinister, like some of the kills, they actually, like, we're going to...
Good movie.
I'm actually going to segue to this one because I want to make an example for the practical effects in that movie. There was, in the first Sinister, you know the family that gets dragged into the pool? Mm-hmm. They actually did get dragged into the pool, and they had divers under the water who were giving them oxygen when they hit the water.
Okay, that's another one that had some eerie-ass music. Oh my gosh, that one was super creepy.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, we're going to watch it.
No.
Yeah. Actually, the second one, the second Sinister, where they had the rats burrowing out of the bodies, those were actual rats they used on fake bodies.
Wow.
No, there was no blood though. It was all computer generated. That was the only thing that was computer generated.
It was a creepy movie. You're gonna
other than that though, most of it was practical effects, which I thought was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And the guy who got lit on fire was someone actually got lit on fire for at least a few minutes. It was a stunt person.
I hope
He
he
did.
got paid well.
Oh yeah, trust me, stunt people get paid really well considering their health insurance.
Yeah.
Must be through the roof, that premium.
Right.
Oh yeah, but considering their line of work, and I also love that we're going to talk about one of the stuntmen for the movie soon, and that's mainly Kane Hodder. We'll talk about him since he's part of part 2 and 3. But yeah, stunt people do a lot of interesting stuff, especially for some of the action scenes for movies, including horror movies, where you actually have to see them get hurt. Like
Right.
for
Like literally.
Nightmare, like a Nightmare
Oh,
on
the
Elm
guy
Street.
that was set on fire.
Yeah, in
And he
Nightmare on Elm Street.
literally, for real, was on fire, like you said. You told us this, because actually I did not know that.
What?
He was on fire, and he was on fire the entire time, all the way going up. It was
Yeah.
going up the stairs, right?
Basically, in Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street, a
Oh
movie we're
my
going to
God.
review later,
I love that
we're going to do an episode of that soon. Basically, with him, is that the stuntman actually was walking up the stairs while on fire,
Yeah.
got knocked down the stairs, got up, back up the stairs, all in one take.
Yeah, that's
While
what I was
on
gonna-
fire.
While on fire, for
While
God's
on
sake.
actual fire.
Yes, on actual fire.
Fire.
That takes some serious balls as well as dedication for that role.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about and the reason why I mentioned Kane Hodder is because this dude is amazing with stunt work, because in a lot of the Friday the 13th movies when he's playing Jason and he's getting beaten the hell up, he is taking all of this and he's doing it in one take.
That's impressive. That's
My
impressive.
God, the dude was insane with the amount of stuff he
He does
did.
he gets killed repeatedly. He's got to have like some
Basically,
kind of
he's
superhero.
immortal.
Yeah.
He's immortal. He literally cannot
Is
die
he,
no
like,
matter how much he
undead?
does.
Is he an undead?
He's
Are you talking
undead
about
as
Freddy?
well as
Yeah. No, well,
He's
not
basically-
Freddy, but like Jason too, because
Oh.
Jason's been killed like how many people stabbed
Right.
him and
I really
They
he
shot
has
him,
to
blew him
be-
up, set him on fire. Seriously, they did pretty much everything
so what
to him.
is he? There's the real question. What the hell is he?
He was human.
He was,
Not
but
anymore.
he can't be.
Ever since basically that whole situation with him, let's just say his mythos is absolutely insane. You guys have to watch every movie just to even get into that whole detail of his immortality.
Yeah,
But
really.
long story short, the dude's immortal, can't die.
But why? Did he make a deal or something? Or?
No.
He just can't die. That's just his character.
So they never explain it.
They explain that his soul's literally a slug in one of the movies
It's a slug.
and possesses people.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, when he goes back to his original body, he eventually, yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, also, Phoenix Fire actually just mentioned this. It sucks that Kane Hodder was never
Given
Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. Honestly, if he was in that movie, you know he would have been able to just make those scenes work so damn well compared to
So
the
when
rest.
did that one come out?
That one came out in 2003.
Okay.
I was only 10 years old when that
So
movie
he
came
might have
out.
been. So the gentleman might have been a little too.
The movie came out. The franchise started in 1980.
Right.
So
Well, he had to have been in,
yeah.
what, his 40s, 50s?
I think he was in his late 20s, early 30s when he started.
Okay, well, that would
Well, for
make
a
him like
stuntman,
60s.
he still could have done it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Trust me, there's some Michael Myers actors that still reprise their roles, like in the new Halloween movie, when Laurie looks up at the mirror of Michael Myers. That was the original Nick Castle who played him.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool that a lot of these actors still could do these stunts even if they wanted to. And actually, if you know one of the Michael Myers actors, the dude is super ripped. And I'm like, good lord!
That's why you can fall out of a window and get shot like 4 times and stabbed and still get up and be like, "It's cool, I'm alright, it's fine."
Yeah.
It's cool.
So, yeah, I'm sorry for segueing, but we had to talk about the stunt work in a lot of these movies, especially for 2 and 3 we're going to be reviewing soon, so that way you guys get a little bit of a backstory of how actors are able to pull them off, especially stunt actors.
Right.
Because, good lord, they have to go through a lot of
They
pain
gotta
if
do
they
it.
want to make those scenes work.
Get it done.
So, for the design of the movie, what would you guys give it?
I'm gonna give it a 9 because it is iconic. Even though in the second movie it's adjacent, it's not the actual camp. It's like adjacent. You can still tell the second you see the first scene of it. Oh, that's Camp Crystal. That's the Crystal
Camp
Lake.
Crystal Lake.
That's it.
Yeah,
you
I'd
know.
say a 9
It's
too.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I gotta
It really
agree with you
establishes
guys.
it.
I gotta go with the 9 on that one because I think it definitely is a unique style and look, and not to mention for how many people reference that movie and its location and everything else.
Did they film in the second film in the same lake location? Because
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah,
identical.
exactly. Some of the
okay.
movies were put at the same location.
Okay.
So
it looks like perfectly.
oh yeah.
Like they
The
just
only
kept
ones
filming.
that didn't set in the actual location was Jason Goes to Manhattan, which I swear sounds like something from a... I'm sorry, Jason Goes to
Like a
Manhattan,
children's
I swear
book.
to God, sounds like something that should be in a Muppet Show.
Right? Absolutely.
Yes.
And literally, have a picture of the Goes Manhattan movie with the Muppets and have Jason's head right there in the middle. Good Lord, that'd be funny as hell.
You should pitch that.
I
That would
really
be fun.
I'll have to pitch it to Kermit the Frog, see if he's willing to go for it.
He'd be
However,
down.
I think for him, he has to teach him how to
right?
dance in this case.
Teach him how to dance.
And Kermit's original career. Remember, we saw all of his commercials.
Oh, yeah,
with
if
the
you
knives
got-
and the guns. He'd be down.
Oh
with
yeah,
Jason.
basically,
He'd
if you guys
rock it.
don't know, the creator of the Muppets did some commercials for Wilkins Coffee.
Really
where
dark.
basically he will murder his friend if he doesn't drink Wilkins Coffee.
It's pretty hardcore, man. I did not.
I'll
know
have to
Kermit,
I'll have to
started that way.
Actually, yeah, I'll have to show you soon.
Yeah, because I don't think I've seen it.
It's
Yeah.
alarming.
That's funny.
Yeah. Before he did all that Buddhist stuff back later on in his life.
It was all stabby, shooty,
In
shooty.
this case, yes.
It was intense. It was
But
intense.
yeah, definitely for that one. It says right here, part 3 onwards, they filmed in different places like Maryland.
Okay.
All right, thank you for letting us know, dude, because I definitely know that in the second movie, they definitely filmed in the same location.
Right.
Definitely. The third, I don't really know if they did do the same location. I'm glad they
It
let us
doesn't
know.
look as similar, but it does look like it would be in the same sort of area. Like
Yeah.
it could be adjacent as well to the original camp.
True enough. All right, and
can focus on that.
now we're going to talk about atmosphere. Now, the atmosphere of this
The
movie,
vibe.
I got to admit, when they set the tone, they set
They
the
set
tone.
the tone. They set
Especially
the
for
tone.
this particular movie. It's
creepy.
Yeah, I'd probably do a 10 for that because...
Yeah. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Whenever they go outside, you're like, oh no, come on, it's
Yeah.
not good out there.
This is bad! This is bad!
Something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm with
I
them on
love
this
his,
one, 10.
I love how the wind picks up too, like magically when there's some death, approaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's, is that Jason? Is that Mama Voorhees? Do they have magical, dark, supernatural powers over the
No.
weather?
No, but it doesn't
No.
appear so.
It appears so, yes, but good
maybe
Lord,
it's,
no.
Maybe it's the Earth trying to warn the characters. Go back inside.
Right.
You know.
Don't follow the light. Don't follow the light.
Don't investigate the noise.
Yeah.
Or
Don't
in
go
the,
down
or-
to the
remember the dude was in the bed, he's like,
Jesus.
I'll be back.
Oh yes.
Walks
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
dead.
you
Don't
broke the
say,
rule,
yeah,
broke the
don't
rule.
say I'll be back in a few minutes.
No.
'Cause
Yeah,
that-
you're
won't.
not coming back.
You're
after
right.
that. Just
You
gonna
could say,
straight
I
up.
hope to return shortly. With all
No,
of my
that
body parts.
Nope, that pretty much
See?
counts as dead. Just don't leave in a horror film.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially
Stay
after you have
together in a
sex. I'm just
group.
gonna tell you that much.
Don't
Right.
have sex. Don't smoke the marijuana.
Yeah.
Don't drink
Yeah.
the beer.
No marijuana, no sex, no alcohol.
Don't partake on it.
Anything
on
fun.
anything
Basically,
fun.
you
Nothing
have to
fun.
be a virtuous virgin
Right.
in order to survive
Moral
this
high
damn
ground.
moral high ground,
Yes.
of course.
To become
And of
a
course, you
final
have to
girl.
have plot convenience on your side.
Right. Right.
Because
You can
there's
always
actually
tell.
some leading ladies who, like final girls, who still end up dead anyway.
Right.
True.
It really does depend.
It does. It does. But from that era, from like the 70s, 80s era, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was the rule. That was the golden rule.
Yep.
All right, so
Be a party pooper,
all right, so
and
I'm
you'll
gonna do the
make
math
it.
here.
Right.
All right, so
Whether or not it's in an insane asylum, heads or
24.
tails, but
30.
just don't have any fun. That's bogus.
All right, give me a second, guys.
That's bogus.
It is.
That's not right.
Right? The whole point of going to the cabin in the, the
It's to
camp
get into
is
trouble.
to have fun.
Give me a second here.
It's like that Indian guy. The guy that dressed up as an Indian and that cop
Oh,
comes up.
the ginger
That was
in the second
hilarious.
film.
That was
What is
hilarious.
Is it Ted? Does
I
he
think so.
die?
Yeah,
Okay, I missed that.
Nope.
I totally missed
yeah.
his
He
death.
actually, technically, he was actually in the first movie.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the one who was literally being insensitive to racial stereotypes.
No, that's the dark-haired guy. There's a second one that's insensitive and wildly inappropriate.
This is what happens when you make clones of the same characters,
Ginger.
guys. Please stop doing it. 17.
We're like, wait, which one? What's his name?
I like the dark-haired guy that played the Indian. I thought he was funny.
In the first film.
Yeah, I thought. Yes, he was funny.
Wow.
When the cop drove up.
Okay.
He was making jokes.
I just did the math,
Yeah.
and I'm shocked to say that I was surprised for myself. Billy Peddle. Your original score, you wanted to give it a 42.
Yeah.
Your total, 43.
Oh my god.
Ooh, close.
Check it out.
You actually got a little higher.
All right.
All right. Puginator 2020. Your original score was 47. You gave it a 45.
Wow.
Not
You
too
were
far off.
not too far off, but you were definitely a little bit more critical this time around. For me, my original score was 37. I gave it a 47. What a jump!
Wow.
That's
yeah.
because you got into the meat of it and you really thought you're, you know.
Yeah, and
When
honestly,
you break it down, it changes everything.
yeah, this is the reason why I love my scoring system. It actually proves that you can have one original score, but yet it can be completely different from everything else once you dig into it. All right, now we're going to talk about part 2. Now, before we start, what would be your guys' score?
Part 2. Overall, out of 1 out of 50,
Yeah.
20. I did not like the second movie.
Jesus.
No, okay.
All right, oops.
Let me take it
I'm
out.
going to say probably about a 30.
All right, so 30.
I'm going to say 27 because I don't want to give it too high a
27.
score.
Definitely.
I'm actually going to be a little bit higher on this one. I'm going to give it 35 this time. Because I don't think it was that bad of a sequel. It could have been far worse. Because if you watch the other movies like I have, you know.
Actually, you know what? Let me change mine to 40 because you know what? It's 2. So you like 2 better than 3?
No, I did not like
I didn't like 3. I thought the acting in 3 was just pathetic.
I didn't like the third one either. I like the first one.
Yeah, true. But I mean, if between the two, I have to think of it between the two. I would
37.
definitely score
So
the third
you're going
one
37
much
now?
lower.
Yes, I'm going to 37.
All right, so that just
Maybe I'm a little harsh.
That almost kind of reminds
There's
me
a
of how I
couple
gave the score
characters-
26 to Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I swear to God, Snowing Gecko has not let me live that down. He's been harassing me about saying, this game is perfection. I'm like, bullshit.
Now the guy in the wheelchair's in 2, right?
He's in 2.
Yes,
You're right.
he's in
I
2.
thought it
That's
out. I
part-
really
yeah.
liked. That's
Yes.
what's his name? Is that
I can't remember his
his
name.
name? Mark.
I think so.
Mark and Vicky. I really liked
Yes,
them.
those two characters.
I
too,
liked
did
them
that.
a lot, and
And
you know
his
what?
death.
That's not fair because
Wow.
all they did was kiss like once,
Right.
and that was enough of the trope rule to kill them off. They didn't even get to have fun. They didn't get to finish the deal. That's bogus, and they get killed. I'm upset about that. That's why I'm scoring it low because I'm annoyed.
But they.
If you guys are wondering, that's our dogs.
Upstairs, they disagree.
All right, so
They can hear us down here, and they're not happy about it.
Yeah.
well, they'll have to deal with it this time. All right, so we'll start off with story.
Okay.
Good Lord. Oh, actually, Phoenix Fire just mentioned the potato sack mask for
Oh,
Jason.
Thank
Whoa, that
you.
was so
Thank you,
cringe.
Phoenix.
with one eye hole. How did he make his mark on all those killings with one little teeny tiny eye hole?
You know his
But I
his deformity did cover his other eye, right?
Well,
Not
yes.
Like Hunchback of
but
Notre
still.
Dame levels of bad.
I don't
in
know.
the third film, though, he has both
He has
eyes.
his-
Yes, yes.
So it's wow, Coda's angry.
Yeah, he does that.
No,
a lot.
the pillowcase that was subpar. I
Yeah.
think we could have tried a little harder, people. Like what was that?
Yeah. it's-
That was like Scarecrow lame. Like what was that?
Although it set it up for 3.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
That's true.
honestly,
There's a
What-
reason for everything.
There's a reason.
really.
true. So, what do you guys think of the second movie? Honestly, in story.
I felt like it was lacking. I feel like there was a lot more kills. I think that the whole point of the second movie was just the trash, like,
Yeah.
the sex scenes
Yeah,
and the
that's all.
kill scenes.
Yeah, really.
I don't think they focused a whole lot on, like,
The plot.
actual plot, you know?
I honestly
At
think
the
it did
end,
introduce Jason, though.
They did.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way, it is his starring movie. So
Right.
we gotta at least give it a little bit of flack for that.
Yeah,
Considering
that's
that
true.
this is Jason Voorhees' true origin story.
Well, I take issue with the fact that they don't explain how he goes from a prepubescent little boy dying in the first movie, or not dying,
Did you guys not read the title card at the start of the movie where it says it starts in 1959?
Right, but, like...
20 years have
It's
just passed, and he was only
unclear.
around maybe 10 or 12
but,
of age.
It's unclear if what he really is, though. Is he undead? Is he immortal? How can he age if he's an undead immortal? You know what I'm saying?
She has a good point.
This is the reason why I have me and my friends had the theory that he did survive and didn't drown.
Right, but it's not
Which makes
explained
sense.
in the second movie. He's just suddenly he's a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
True, but
He shows
again,
up killing.
heck, even if you look at the, because present day, technically, and this is what Phoenix Fire actually mentioned, that the movie takes place in 1979,
Right.
20 years after that event happened.
Oh, no, I totally grasp that he has aged. I'm just saying, how does he age if he's not...
I know.
Human.
This is the
and
reason
alive.
why.
I don't get it.
Yes.
You know, plot fails.
Human
there.
and alive. You have to
Almost
be human
kind of
and
reminds me of
alive
how you
to-
kept complaining about how Michael Myers learned how to drive.
Right.
Even though,
Yes!
hold on, even though Loomis makes a good point that someone might have taught him.
Well, like, why would they teach a psychopathic child?
No,
murderous
one
rampaging child how
of
to
the
drive?
patients did.
Like, how? Like,
Yeah.
this is how you
They
sit
don't-
in a chair
yeah.
and pretend this is the wheel and this is the gas? Like, that's...
You never know. You know how psychopaths work.
I feel like that's... There's a word for it where, like, they throw some detail in...
Plot holes.
No, that's like when there's a detail missing. This is like, we're throwing this in like he just
random.
learned this knowledge
Like a
from
random-
the ether.
Yeah, like a
And yet,
random-
here's the
Continue
thing:
the story.
Halloween did bring it up. They actually admitted to how he learned. How in the world did he know how to drive? And even Loomis stated maybe someone taught him
That's true.
in the hospital. So
That's
you
true.
cannot
But
complain.
nobody said that about Jason. All of a
Not
sudden,
in this
he's
case,
just
no.
Gone through puberty and he's a man and he's on a mission to kill.
You would
There
think that
go.
Friday the 13th would have learned, considering that Halloween came out 2 years before this movie ever
Right.
did.
I take issue there. There is my issue with the movies. Like,
And
know.
Phoenix Fire also says that Alice was killed too early, honestly.
Very true. No respect. She was a final girl, you know? Like, give her character a little more... Although her death was brutal, we yelled when we saw that thing go into her eye.
That was bad.
That was a downer. We
Honestly-
liked her.
Honestly, I'm with Phoenix Fire and you guys on this one. I think it would have been funny, as well as actually pretty cool, if she actually got to help the final girl.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
if she
should've
would have
gone back
died,
to the camp,
and then
you know?
I would have been fine with her dying.
Right.
Because then you actually
it sort
felt
of
bad
comes
for her.
full circle.
Exactly.
Right? She should have been able to return to the camp. I don't like how in the third one there's like nobody left that was from the original
That had
characters.
anything to do.
I
with-
like when there's that. What's the word for that? Where it's like a character from the
Paying
previous-
homage.
Yes, like
Yeah.
it comes full circle. I feel less connected to the characters in the third film
Yeah,
than
I
I did
agree.
to Alice's character in the
Totally.
second film.
Yes.
because-
Totally.
It says right here,
Because
Alice
nailed
should
her.
have told Paul or Jeannie about Pamela and her son. Then, in the middle of the movie, in the middle, and of course, then kill her
Right.
when Jason starts killing off the counselors, as they would have questions to ask her.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
they all seem to have like very little concept of what is going on.
Yeah.
Like
They're oblivious.
the owner, what's his name? Steve? The guy that takes over the second camp?
Is he the tall guy?
The blonde with Ginny.
Oh,
Paul.
yeah.
Paul. Excuse me. Paul.
Yeah, that should
He
be
tells
very
like a
hard
little
to...
ghost story the first night everybody's there about, Jason and his mom. He does that, but they all just are like inexplicably like, they're like, why are we being killed? Wait, throughout the whole second film, they're all just like, oh, dude, somebody killed us. Why?
Yeah, and
Bummer.
actually, Phoenix Fire also brings up another point that Jason, in a way, hunts down people that are immoral.
Right.
So
Yeah.
in this case,
He's breaking the...
no matter what happens,
going after
they're going
the
to
people who
die,
break the
even
throat.
if it's subtle.
Right.
He is going to find
Well,
out.
that's like the same thing with the final. I mean, that's the whole point of the final girls.
Right.
Being the purity.
Basically,
morally high ground.
Yeah, purity.
Yeah,
high
basically
ground.
the
Yeah.
final person who survives.
Right.
Regardless
Which is
of
why
men
it's
or
not
women.
fair that Ginny died, because all she did was drink and have like one little hit. That's all. You know, she had one beer and one toke. It's not fair for her to die in the second one. That's totally like that's no respect for the trope.
True. All right, so
I'd be a final girl totally because I like to follow rules.
That's true, you do.
not to mention you know more horror movies. You would fit so well in Scream.
Right, right.
Yes.
Because good
Like
lord,
Sydney, she's
actually,
true, like she's a modern.
actually,
final
if
girl.
anything,
I
and
have
I'm
so
actually
much
gonna say
love
this
for her.
outright, if my mom was ever in a movie, you already know she would be the person that Sydney and the others would talk to for advice.
Right.
Because she knows more about horror movies than most people.
Like that guy that works in the video store.
Right.
He was
Jamie
funny as hell.
Foxx.
Yes.
I love him.
How
He
does
was-
this is how's and besides, here's something that Phoenix Fire said. How does Paul know all about Pamela and Jason if Alice was dead by this point? Like, did he have a connection to someone in the first movie?
Right, it would have been nice. It would have been
Actually, that's a really good freaking point.
cohesive. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Cohesive story and character plotline.
Yeah. I'm with Phoenix Fire. This is right here. I'm sure the citizens of Crystal Lake would want to cover up Pamela's death and killing spree.
They were like
Right,
sketchy
right.
as hell in the second one. They're all like, "Oh, you're going to the camp."
Yeah, so
They're creepy.
yeah, I'm
Only
with Phoenix
Crazy
Fire on
Ralph.
this one.
Only Crazy Ralph was trying to warn people, but who's going to listen to the nutty guy?
And hell, he died in the second movie
He did,
anyway.
That's
So
sad. Wasn't he the first kill?
nope, he was the
No.
second.
The second.
Yeah.
Okay.
He died after Alice.
Oh, that's right. Pardon.
All right. So what would you guys score the story on this one? Score 1 to 10.
7. I feel like it's
7
severely.
here.
I feel like the whole point of the second movie was to capitalize on the franchise and to up the kills and the sex scenes.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't feel like they had much respect for the actual
So-
storyline.
What about you?
I would say probably a 7 too. I was thinking 6, but you know.
I'm actually going to be a little bit more lenient and say 8, mainly because this is Jason's origin story. And for him, this would be the killer that we would know for the rest of the franchise.
Right.
That's a true point.
So I
I
am
do
going
like
to give
the
it an
ending.
8.
I like how Ginny uses the child psychology
Yes, yeah.
knowledge
Yeah.
on him, and
Yeah, that was pretty
that
good.
does establish that really well. But I just feel like they gave Jason, respect character-wise, but the rest of the characters are really flat in this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of the guy that we were talking about, the crazy guy, he basically
Ralph?
Ralph. He just warns, and Phoenix Fire said this. He just warns people the camp has a death curse, but
Right.
he's also known as the town drunk.
Right.
So why would Paul believe a drunken
Right.
man?
Right,
Right.
nobody listens to the
And
drunk.
he's acting all crazy.
Yeah.
Cray.
It's sad too, and that's
Yeah.
a trope too, isn't it? Because nobody listens to the crazy
Nope.
drunkard, even though he's the only one telling the truth.
Yeah,
Right.
and actually, strange thing is,
He's been around forever.
Right.
I'm actually gonna say this outright. For as many tropes as this thing created, it didn't even come close to the amount of tropes that Stephen King's made.
That's true.
Like the religious
That's true.
fanatic.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes.
Lord, the religious fanatic. Good God, there are so many in this.
That's like an actual
Or
fear.
the psychotic bullies. Those
Right.
are still there.
Right.
Of course, actually, and this is a joke from Nostalgia Craig, the Stephen King drinking game. Drink to every single one of Stephen King's tropes.
Oh. So
You would die in the first 12
wouldn't
minutes.
you wouldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would die in the
You
first
wouldn't
12 minutes of the
remember.
film because you would also have to drink to all the flashback scenes you would had.
Right.
Be unconscious and in a coma by like half an hour mark.
That or dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Alcoholic overdose. I'm just gonna say outright, but yeah. So yeah,
Stephen
honestly,
King is so subtle.
but yeah. Luckily, actually, there's only one movie where he made a religious character. Yet surprisingly, she was so sweet and innocent. She was awesome.
What was that?
I'll have to show you in a minute.
Okay. No vegetables, no dessert.
Alright. Now we're gonna go on to characters. Okay, like I said, Jason Voorhees freaking awesome.
Right.
And again, Kane Hodder does a really good job. portraying the character as he would. Because, good God, he makes himself look threatening in those
I like
films.
Jenny.
I like
Ginny's
Jenny.
good.
And she is also, she's from this movie called Walk Like a Man from when I was little.
Oh, you told me that the
Right.
other night when we were
She,
watching.
with, what's his name? Howie Mandel. She's Bobo's teacher. I've always loved her. I was shocked when I saw her in this movie last night.
I like the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh,
I
wait,
liked
Kane
him.
Hodder
I
wasn't
liked him
Jason
too.
in part
I liked
2?
him too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was in part 3. Oh, shoot, I think someone else did Jason in part 2.
He looks different from the Jason in the third
Yeah.
film.
I still think the actors are better in 2 than 3 by far.
Oh, very true.
Actually,
I was deeply saddened.
The guy in the
By
wheelchair,
Mark
the
and-
girl that
and
liked
Vicky.
her, I like Ginny.
Right.
Of course, Jason.
Right.
Actually,
I really liked-
Phoenix Fire actually stated, oh, wait, really? He didn't become... Then who the heck played Jason in the other movies then?
I don't know.
Alright, curious. Because Kane Hodder didn't do his part until part 6.
Okay.
Well,
where
I'll
he
have to do
really went all out.
a little bit more reresearch then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did
There's
part
only
2
like
in the others.
75 movies in
Yeah.
this
Right.
franchise, so
That's
yeah.
Technically,
take
there's
us
12, plus the
She was
spin-off
being
movies.
facetious.
I was being
She's
Actually,
being funny.
Phoenix Fire actually stated that he would have given it a 6er story.
Oh, huh? See?
Because it says right here, they should have at least made an effort to explain things so
I agree.
by the time of
Absolutely.
part
So the
3
characters-
came
Yeah.
around, people would understand what
Totally.
or how Jason
They're
came to be.
totally like
That would
they're
be-
totally in the dark.
Yeah, that would have
Characters
given
have
it
no
so much
freaking
more of
idea
a-
what's going on.
Oh, yeah, now I
Not
remember part 5. Part
volume.
5 was the imposter Jason.
Oh, like copycat?
We
Basically.
have to watch it again. I haven't seen...
I haven't seen
it's
the other
been
movies
so-
in a long
in
time.
fact, actually, I just
Bought those.
bought those
Oh, okay, that's
because
decent.
I don't,
Okay.
you know...
I feel like they have zero. The character development wasn't very good at all in this one, except for Jason. Just like in the first one with Mama Voorhees, you know, the most
The killer's the main
character-
focus of the movies.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's interesting too, because that's different from most horror movies as well. It's usually
Usually
there's
the
like
victim.
the protagonist, right? Like you know, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, when it comes down to it, like movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and all those, mainly the focus is on the killer because he's the one that everyone wants to see.
right.
Where in Halloween, it was completely different. You
Right.
actually were mainly concentrating on Laurie Strode,
Right.
and Michael Myers only showed up in certain scenes until he really goes on his killing spree.
Right, he drives the story. He drives
Yeah.
the story, but he's not the focus of it. Laurie is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the characters weren't as the other characters are more filler.
Oh, here it is.
So-
Part 4, this is from Phoenix Fire. Part 4, Jason was effectively killed as a human at long last. It was part 6 when he became effectively immortal.
Oh, thank you, Phoenix.
Yeah, thanks, Phoenix.
Interesting.
Trust me, Phoenix Fire here actually does a lot of research on movies, especially horror movies, so he would at
Nice.
least help us out with this one.
Nice.
Respect.
Yes.
Mr. Phoenix.
Honestly,
On
yeah, I think, like I said, aside from Ginny and, of course, Jason,
Jason.
those are the only 2 characters I'll ever really remember. It's
Right.
actually kind of sad how the character development was a
Filler.
little bit non-existent. I only say a
Filler.
little bit because there was a couple of them that
Yeah,
They were
I
a
actually
little.
said were fine.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark had like his background story. He was like, you know, he got injured in a motorcycle accident, and you know.
Yeah,
But
so
most of them were just filler.
yeah,
you know?
basically,
Fodder.
yeah,
Fodder.
basically,
Fodder.
yeah, fodder.
Yeah,
Basically,
fodder.
dead bodies waiting,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
dead men walking.
for sure.
Right.
So what would you guys rate it?
For character,
Yeah.
5.
There we go,
I'm still
5.
gonna do 7 because Jason. I like Jason and Ginny.
I'm gonna actually go in between you guys. I'm gonna give it a 6
Okay.
because,
I just feel
like I said, Ginny and Mark, as well as of course Jason,
Right.
best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Everyone else could literally just go and die.
Right. Nobody.
and-
You
which
couldn't
they
even
do.
remember their names.
No, I
you
don't.
know? Exactly.
No, I keep saying
That-
the wheelchair guy.
Right.
You know, the wheelchair guy.
That offends me that
Yeah.
there's no respect for the other characters. That pisses me off.
And it says right here, Phoenix Fire then says his deaths
Right.
in part 2 and 3
Quote,
only
unquote.
grazed him and stunned him.
Yeah.
His deformations took most of the blows.
Right.
Yep.
All right, now we're gonna go on to Well, music, of course, like
Right.
we did last time. And I can't believe I'm saying this. They didn't necessarily change anything,
No.
which
No.
is not a bad thing,
No.
but it's not a good thing
It's
either.
iconic. It's just an iconic. They stick with kind of an iconic sound.
They stick with a theme for
Yeah.
their music, and
They
Pretty much
it
most
works.
of all of the movies.
franchise.
Yeah.
They upped the Lamaze little bit, the
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit
which
more.
I find deeply,
Yeah,
deeply
intense.
annoying.
Yeah.
Deeply annoying.
I'm torturing her right now.
Ugh.
Yes. He'll stand outside your
Yeah,
door.
he will.
at
I know
night.
he will.
And
He's
he'll-
gonna outside the bathroom,
Right.
or you will, because you're mean like that.
Right.
Oh,
Little streak of horror in there. Thank you very much.
honestly though, for what it's worth though, the music, like I said, it's good, but I wish they could have at least updated it.
They could have given a little more, expanded upon
Tweaked
it.
it a little.
Especially
Yeah,
since
had
Friday
a
the
little
13th Part
fun.
1 did so well.
Right.
So why not update it? Like,
I'll give
go
it a
full
6.
blown.
I'll give it a 6.
What about you?
I'd say probably 6.2. 3 was worse. by
I'm
far.
sorry to say, I'm actually going to give it
Three is
I'm
just-
actually going to give it a 4.
3
you're-
is
'cause
just
you're not
Because-
disgusting.
By the
It's more like
moving forward in the story. There's
at
no
least
there's no-
try to make an update,
Right.
damn it.
Right.
It's
This
not worth
movie
it.
entirely.
You're being
to me
very
felt-
generous.
It felt
Me
like a
being
filler.
generous
It
on
felt
two?
like
I've seen people give it freaking 7 or 8.
Oh, I thought you said you gave it an 8.
No, I give it a freaking 4.
Oh, I thought you said an
I
8.
feel
That's
like
why I was
the
like,
whole-
wow,
as a
you're
whole,
really
It was
generous.
just
No.
like
Yeah.
it's just like kill porn.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
it is.
They didn't respect.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you mean
feel
like
he
torture
deserved-
porn like Saw and Hostel?
Right. I feel
Ugh.
like they should have respected his origin story a little bit more than this.
Actually,
This was
they actually.
sort of half-assed.
One of the strange thing is they did in the comics,
In the-
not in the movies.
Well, see, book versus movie, and we're gonna start
Yeah.
going a whole rampage rant. Don't
We're actually
yeah,
gonna do.
yeah.
start.
Actually,
Never start.
we actually are in one of our episodes. We are gonna do a book versus movie.
Yes.
Where we're gonna be choosing 3 movies that had 3 fantastic books and see if either they are superior or completely downright awful.
On
If
most
you have me,
pla-
I
yeah,
will be
most-
ranting the entire
yes,
time.
I would
So.
say most cases, 98%.
Okay, not 98, 90 at most.
Oh.
I think the way to look
Because
at
there
it
are
is
some
like,
good ones, like The Shining.
That's true.
True.
The Shining is good. Harry Potter
True.
is good.
True.
Slow your roll, Mr.
Oh, but she.
Then
Yeah.
hold on, and then of course we
She's
have,
a
and then of course we
fanatic,
have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, another good book that turned into a great movie.
It's
was
a fun movie.
It was a fun movie, but
I
I,
like to
wouldn't
look at
say
it like it's not the same.
as the book.
Right, it's not,
not.
They're not different universes. They're like different planets in the same universe. That's how I like.
All right, it says right here. Oh wow, Phoenix Fire asked, why didn't Part 3 answer the unanswered questions of Part 2, like how Part 2 answered some questions of Part 1?
Good question. Irritating.
Blame the writers.
Super
Right?
irritating.
Okay, now we're gonna go with design. Okay, I'm willing to say for as much as there were a lot of problems in this movie, I gotta admit the
It was
makeup and
cohesive.
the practical effects, they upped their game.
It was cohesive. Shout out to the dude with the Bon Jovi hair, huh?
Oh,
I liked
Lord.
it.
Of course.
He had great Bon Jovi
Oh,
hair.
well, again,
And he
yeah,
had
it
that
was the
great
80s, so it
big
kind of
boy
makes
hat,
sense.
right?
Yeah, I say 8 on that.
Really, you're gonna go with 8 on that one?
Well, and it looks like it's literally the same
Yeah, it
location,
does.
so I'm gonna give it an 8.
So much better than 3.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go the same with them.
I can't help it.
I'm gonna agree with them. Go for an 8 because they did
Yeah.
update.
Yeah.
Cohesive.
yeah.
It's cohesive.
They did a
Yeah.
really good job
And
with
my goodness,
effects
a
on this
shout
one.
out to the Hoochie Coochie shorts. What was her?
yeah.
Jesus
Don't know her
Christ.
name.
Why in the world are you even bringing that up?
Because, in my opinion, the second film is just totally like more TNA, more kill. No
Yeah.
plot, no.
Yeah.
All right.
So
We're
there's- you gotta
story
talk
people.
about
We're story
costumes.
people.
There's that little crop.
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely
Wow.
took her advice from Padme from Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to reference episode
Yeah,
2
but-
for how much I hate that movie.
Yeah, but she at least had a bra on. Padme is a lady. Okay.
Yeah.
She may be a Britney fan, but she was wearing a bra. So.
Britney fan.
All right, it says right here, if that's a lodge on the waterfront, then why didn't they do a proper job of blocking off Camp Crystal Lake? Well,
Touche.
Good call on that one,
Yeah.
Phoenix Fire. Good call. I honestly, that definitely left a few issues in that one. Okay, now time for atmosphere. I have to admit, for as much as this one definitely knew it was going to be doing more kills.
Right.
So I think they addressed the whole thing.
Like you had said, the kills were more like boom, 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 boom. In the second movie, it was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, so in this
the
case...
The atmosphere was definitely there.
Yeah.
It was cohesive with the first one. It was creepy.
Yeah, so for what it was worth, I think the atmosphere, in a way, they presented, it's going to be a slaughter. There's no question about it.
There's no question. Yeah. Everyone's going to be dead.
Most of the people, if not everyone, is going to die.
Right.
Yep.
So, for what it's worth, I think that they hit their mark on the atmosphere.
I would say 9. I'd give that a 9.
All right, so you're gonna give it a 9?
Yeah, same.
Because it was definitely creepy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
Absolutely, there was no question people were gonna die. Whether they had their clothes on or not, that was really the only issue.
Basically at this particular point, they were just gonna go all out in murdering people and doing whatever they
slaughtering
wanted.
everybody. Yeah, rampage.
All right, so we're gonna add up the scores. I think this is gonna be really interesting.
Although that would not be considered a rampage killer.
Oh.
Rampage killers are ones that, like that guy that goes up to the top of that tower
Oh,
and shoots.
okay. Like, not, like, no.
Just randomly shoots.
No reason.
No reason, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Jason's totally all about
That's another most evil thing
vengeance
that I learned.
That's true.
Yeah.
And your arsenal of knowledge.
Yes.
That disturbs people.
Yeah, my arsenal of serial killer knowledge.
Okay.
Anyway, go on. Continue.
Puginator, your original score was 37.
40. No, mine was 40.
I'm sorry, 40. Yours is 37.
Okay.
So you were definitely a little bit more critical this time around. Billy Pello? Sorry, I'm just shocked in my number.
It almost sounded like you said Billy Pello.
Billy Peddle.
No, I know.
Your original score was 37. Your score now is 35.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't like
Well, I think actually
you're only a little bit more
her
critical.
initial,
Right.
her initial.
I was quite brutal.
Yeah.
My original score was 35. My final score, 35.
Oh. That's
I
crazy.
somehow matched my score.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Because he liked the movie.
Yeah,
I think
More
it's
so
a decent
than
movie than it
Yeah.
was.
I felt
but
Jason deserved better for his origin story.
I do like the movie, but I just don't.
it's not like the
It's
drastic
not as
increase
good as
I
the-
had from my first review
as
of
the
the
first
Friday
one.
the 13th.
They're almost never as good as the first anyway.
No, I know.
No matter
What
how
about,
feel like they could've-
what about Insidious? The sequels got better with each movie in this case.
Yeah, but that rarely happens.
Or The Conjuring,
That's true too.
The Exorcist.
True. Nah, no, that
Exorcist 2 is actually really good.
Exorcist 2 is okay, but anything after that is.
Yeah. I'm mainly talking about the sequel that
But
came
yes,
after the first.
but for the most part, for the better percentage, usually the first one is really.
Especially for longer franchises like Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. Which had an excellent remake. That was really good. The story in that was amazing.
They had two.
They had
Yes, there
Two
are
remakes.
2
I'm not joking.
Oh my god.
No, it's true. I think I
Halloween.
I'm not
3
sure if I have.
remakes.
Yes, they do.
I think we need a new franchise.
And then, of
It's
course,
like Disney.
and then,
like,
of
how many
course,
Cinderella movies can we have?
oh god, don't even get me started on Disney. Seriously, Disney, screw off when it comes to remakes. You've already ruined so many other movies already.
He's so intense.
I'm sorry, I just don't like any of the
Serious
remakes.
issue.
All the remakes suck. Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast sucks. Even the Mulan movie, which I was hoping it was going to be awesome, they completely ruined the story and got rid of one of my favorite freaking songs of all time on that one.
What song did they
I'll Make a Man Out of You. They got rid of it.
That's
Because they thought it was completely sexist.
Oh,
I was like, bull! That is an uplifting song that anyone can listen to. Hell, I'm actually going to tell you guys a story. I was in college, and it was right after my classes. I had just decided to put on my phone and play I'll Make a Man Out of You. Men, women, children, everyone in the gamers club, including everybody in the game room and outside, came over to our room and started singing the song word for word.
Because it's an awesome song, man.
Yeah, it's an uplifting freaking song and a good montage song. Like a training montage.
Things have gone awry though with
Cancel culture.
yes.
Yeah.
Sadly.
But for
Shout out to Donny Osmond. Let's just throw it out there.
Actually, yeah, that's the one time he actually sang really good.
Right, there you go.
Okay. All right, so now that we're done with that, now we're finally going into part 3.
Oh,
The final one for this episode, mainly for this episode, yeah, because we're going to go straight into the questions and Retro Evolution. So,
all right.
30.
You're going to give it a 30.
Overall score.
All right, so now it's your turn.
Okay, well,
I was not happy at all with that.
I'm going to say 35.
Ooh, you're being very nice.
Well, because of one specific character.
Okay, I can't wait to hear.
One
All
specific.
right, for me, I'm actually going to go with her. I'm going to go 30.
Wow. So you guys are disrespecting the one specific character.
I'm not
right there.
entirely disrespecting it. It's just that it could have been a lot better.
Oh, it could have. There's
It's
no
not-
question.
However,
of that.
here's the thing: this movie will never be as stupid as Halloween 5.
Okay, I haven't seen
Curse
that
of
one.
Michael Myers, because there are cops in that movie that literally have clown shoe sounds every time they walk.
God, I never noticed that.
I did. It's bullshit.
That's funny.
This is the reason why you when I get critical of horror movies, I will let people know because they are not going to get away with it.
That's funny. Come on. It's supposed to be fun, right?
No,
It's supposed to be
they were
fun.
trying to make it a serious horror film, yet they added that.
I didn't like out of the Halloweens the one with the pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Halloween 3. I was fine with that one.
Oh, I
The
didn't like
pumpkin,
it.
the iconic symbol.
Yes.
I
Along
don't
with the
know,
mask?
but it's still creepy. I don't know. I just
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ruined
I
my-
love pumpkins.
Well, I love
Watch.
pumpkins too.
All right, Halloween 3 is basically
Basically, it shrivels away into and it's like.
basically it's
we'll have to watch it.
yeah, you'll have to watch it. But basically for those of
You'll
you guys who don't
understand
know,
why
Halloween
I
was supposed to
don't
be
like
an anthology series. But, however, and this is my personal opinion, I think they shouldn't have made 2 if they were making an anthology series. But, again, that's what happens, though, because eventually...
It's a cash cow, baby.
Well, Halloween 2 and Halloween 4 were not that bad. Halloween 5 is when they really got stupid. Halloween H2O was actually pretty cool. Halloween,
Is that the
Halloween
one that I
20th
saw?
anniversary.
H2O, isn't that the one where she's
Halloween 20
working
years
at
later.
she's working at that
The university.
college or
Yeah,
university?
the
yeah.
university.
Oh, that's
What's
actually, and that's the one
I've seen the
Jamie's
most
in.
recent-
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
that's where her mother was in, too.
Yes, yes.
The same woman who did the shower scene.
Yes, that was a good movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah,
I
her
liked
actual
it.
mother played her assistant, but it was actually pretty
And
cool.
again,
Oh, that's
Michael
so
Myers
cute.
was driving.
And guess what? There's actually,
hole.
there was actually a part in the movie where when she walks away, you can hear the Psycho theme song playing when she
I'm
walks
gonna have to
away.
pay attention
Oh,
now.
that's so
I'm
sweet.
like, yeah, pay homage to one of the greatest
that
is
actresses
so
who
funny.
died on.
That's so cool.
Because I love horror flicks, and I did not even notice that. That's pathetic. I'm gonna have to really go back and
Rewatch.
hone my watching skills.
Yeah, when
Details.
it comes down to it, as you guys can tell, I love the details in the movies. You'd be very surprised how much I know.
I remember a day. I remember a day when you wouldn't even.
Come close to a horror film.
Oh no!
Yeah, you
No.
have broken him and
yes,
made him
but
in
and
your
I've broken
image.
you too.
Yes.
Now the only one that will never be broken is your dad.
No, he watches horror films.
Every once in a while.
Not
every once
not
in a
like
while.
not like
Not like us, but
Yeah, there are some movies that I know my dad will never watch, and that's My Bloody Valentine's one of them.
oh yeah,
That
he
one
liked that.
freaked him the hell out, and he has never
I've not
went
seen
back
that.
to that movie since.
Yeah, I have the
seen that.
remake of that too.
The remake sucks.
I thought it was okay.
The actress is fine. I'm just gonna say the actors are fine. It's just how they play the story out right, and also
Yeah.
really using the actors as their younger selves. That's just total bull.
Yeah, true.
Not believable.
That'll be
Not
another
believable
one
at
we'll
all.
have to watch and discuss.
Yeah, because honestly, I would like to try doing a remake versus original on that one because I did watch the original, and the original
Yeah.
was really good.
It was.
and the twist actually
Yes.
felt believable with
Yeah,
that one.
That's
it
true.
did. It was pretty good.
But yeah, actually, it says right here, Phoenix Fire says part 3 makes me wonder what the hell Crystal Lake citizens were doing and how the hell they're not covering up these murders and a killer.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
wouldn't the
really.
FBI or some kind of government office have learned
kidding.
about what's going on as wouldn't the government
Yeah, no kidding.
want to step in and prevent
Yeah.
this from occurring in another part of the USA?
Yeah,
Like,
multiple
just bomb the
murders.
area
Yeah.
and
Is this
move
right?
on.
And he says after this, hell, they went all out to capture Ted Bundy, but Jason Voorhees? Nah, let's let him kill whoever he wants.
Right.
See, that's why I don't go to
So-
Middle America. Okay.
So yeah, I have to admit though, I'm really glad you brought this up because good lord, in that universe you'd be screwed.
They're all sketchy as hell too. Like what is that in the second movie or the first one? Where they, maybe that's the first one. They're all like, "Oh, you're going to Camp Crystal Lake," but they don't actually say
First
you
one.
really probably shouldn't do that, because you'll die horribly. They're all just like, going.
Yeah.
They're all ominous and creepy. So it's like a
Yeah.
conspiracy. I think Phoenix is right. There's all those people are very disturbed.
Yeah,
Must
the whole
be.
town.
Almost kind of reminds me of the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right?
Maybe they all
The
know.
locals.
At least
they're all
with-
in on it.
At
and
least,
creepy
at
and
least with
cannibalistic.
Blair Witch Project,
God, don't even get me started.
they all the townspeople were like letting them know,
Don't
don't
go into the woods.
Don't go into the woods.
Actually,
Don't go
there's
out
actually
in
a
their
funny
woods.
parody of that particular movie with Scooby-Doo. The Scooby-Doo Project.
Oh, how funny.
You guys gotta watch it. It's actually really cool how they reference so much from that movie.
Well, I love
it's actually
Scooby,
kind
so-
of
We
funny
love
as hell.
Scooby. Go Scooby.
Yeah, go Scooby.
Get it.
But it says right here, I know it's fantasy, but still, from a real world perspective, like, why isn't anyone doing anything to prevent this?
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
I think the American Horror Story, the last season that they did, they play a parody up on that whole genre really well. Like, they definitely...
Oh yeah,
That was
you're
fun.
right.
That was
yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
They totally mock the whole, like, seriously, you know you're gonna die. Why
Yeah.
are you coming?
Yeah. Alright,
You know?
now let's get into the heart and soul of it, the story. What did you guys think?
There's a severe lack of story there. Severe lack of story. in the
Very
third one.
patchy.
We at least know the origin of his mask.
There's like...
True.
That's the only
That's-
saving grace.
yes.
Shout out to Shelley.
Yes,
Huh? Big
yes.
goober boober guy.
Yes.
I loved him. I was
Yes.
very sad when he died. And he is the one who originates Jason's true iconic.
yeah,
you know,
look.
look.
Also,
And mask and everything.
Also, if you
mask,
think
the
about it, it's actually kind of
jumpsuit.
funny how he dies, considering that she literally states, yeah, I'm not falling for it, even though he is actually bleeding out. If I saw him like that, I'd be like, dude, what the hell
But
happened?
because he
'Cause
played it
I would know
so
that's not
much.
fake.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
But here's the thing.
He was my favorite character.
Yeah, but
Actually, I
know?
know when I first watched that, I thought when with the axe in the head and the
That he
beginning
was
of
the first
that he
kill,
was
like,
going to be
yeah.
the first kill. Yeah.
I was very sad about Vera too. She was the two of them, and you know what? She didn't break any of the damn trope rules for the final girl. She didn't have sex. She didn't drink. She didn't smoke. Why did she get it in the
Which
eye?
one's very? Oh, yes.
That wasn't
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
That was Shelley's girl. They were totally adorable together. They were my favorite couple. My
Yeah.
favorite characters.
It says right here for Phoenix Fire, I can see Jason killing FBI agents. They should have told us what happened to Jeannie, and at least in part 3. Someone had to have heard about what she went through.
Right, exactly. And they just dropped her
It's like a
character.
total
they totally
cover-up.
dropped it.
Total cover up.
Like, what in the...
But why would they cover it up?
I don't know.
Actually, you
Are
want to
there
know the
more
strange thing
people like
is?
Jason working in the
Actually,
Crystal Lake?
you want to know the
area?
strange thing? In
I don't know.
Jason X, yes, I'm going to reference this. The government actually does get a hold of him, but they can't kill him. So they're trying to figure out what makes him regenerate every single time from every wound he's ever had. So
Right.
I think that in this case, it's the one time the government actually does something, but they also completely screw up in the end. Anyway.
Oh, you know what? I'm just now picturing the one you were talking about, the one with the that's in the future.
Right. On the
I-
spaceship.
When you were talking about that, I was digging my brain trying to.
Yeah, that
think.
was Jason X.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
here's one. Originally, part 3 was going to be about Jeannie in an insane asylum with Jason haunting her and trying to kill her.
Well, see,
See,
that
that
would
would
have
have made
been
more
cohesive.
Yeah.
Cohesive plot
The
line.
actress
with
that-
respect
oh,
to the story.
It says right here,
To
the
the
actress
characters.
that played Jeannie didn't want to be typecasted, hence why they didn't resolve that story in part 3.
Bummer.
Well, they could have at least had somebody say, state something regarding that character. That's bullshit. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's fine.
That's baloney that they didn't give that character a little bit more respect.
Right.
That's the thing I take issue with is when they drop the plot and they don't respect the character enough to give that character, an ending or resolution or
their due
right
diligence.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to have her to come back just to finish that, resolve that story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they dropped the ball there. I felt like this one was very filler-esque as well, just like the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to give credit to Shelley, our Pudgy Goober, for establishing
Yeah.
Jason's true.
Also, it says right
face,
he also
basically.
says they should have made Paul survive Jason's attack and share his story.
Right.
Then
Somebody
kill him.
could have. Somebody. There's supposed to be. Isn't that part of the trope? Somebody's supposed to survive, whether it be the final girl or just a survivor,
Yeah.
to carry on the
Yeah,
legend
because
of
if
the
you
story.
see that, there's actually a few movies that I know of, like Final Destination,
Right.
where they do actually explain that there is something that basically, if you avoid death, you are going to get killed by him eventually.
Right.
In the
Right,
order you're supposed to die.
That's true. That establishes it pretty well. That you can't escape your fate.
Yeah.
Right. Your
Part
death
two,
mark.
fate
Your mark of death.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
It says right here,
Yeah.
part 2, Paul was attacked, but we didn't see Jason kill him.
Okay.
So there's
Yeah,
a good
that's
chance
true.
he could have lived.
He could have lived.
So, yeah, for a story, what would you guys rate it?
5.
I was going to say 6.
I was going to give it like a 3.
I'm giving
The
it
only,
5.
like I said,
Shelley.
the 3 points,
Yeah.
For Shelley.
the 3 points is mainly just for the Jason mask.
Right.
Yes,
The hockey mask.
that's
Yes.
actually what
Yes.
is the only
He's
reason
the-
why.
That's the only reason I'm going to rate it well at all. is
So you're going to
because-
do 5?
Yes. Because Shelley,
Yep.
he
I
establishes
was
it.
6 because that was pivotal.
That was.
It
He
really
establishes
was.
his
That
true
that
face.
yeah.
That's his true face.
yeah.
Yep. All right.
And does anybody even remember who Shelley is?
No, I think people do
I do.
remember.
Okay.
I will
surprised.
because
I
that's
feel like
that's
he should.
huge.
He deserves
He-
respect.
He
part
does,
3 would have
definitely.
been perfect if for Paul to have died in part 5.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Why would you need a hockey mask in the middle of a summer holidays anyway?
Good point.
Mhm.
How the hell are you playing hockey in the middle of summer?
Unless you're playing an ice hockey rink.
Well, his
Is there an ice rink in the town of Crystal Lake?
no,
No,
I
no.
bet not.
There could be, I suppose.
Well, it depends on where Crystal Lake is at.
or
Actually,
Shelley-
could
maybe
you answer
Shelley.
this question? Where does Crystal Lake take place in? I'm very curious.
I know it's filmed in New Jersey. I googled that.
Alright, so now we're gonna go into characters. Okay, for as much as I'm willing to say it, I gotta give this one a low score. The only redeeming
Yeah.
quality is Jason.
Right. Well,
I'm gonna have
I
to
mean-
give it a 4 because there was
what's the gal? The gal that she's one of the last ones to die.
Oh, here it is. Oh, yep, New Jersey. So Crystal Lake is in New Jersey.
Okay.
Also, it says right here, thanks Shelley for being a loser.
Oh,
I loved
he
him.
was a goober. He was a total boob.
And not
He
to mention,
was,
the reason
but
why
he
he
was
died
sweet.
was because no one took him seriously
Right,
for all
true,
that. So
yeah.
And that's so
I think he
sad.
kind of got
Yeah.
himself killed in that particular
Well, because he was
sense.
he was screwing around.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So
Yeah, but he
But
just
he-
wanted to make everybody laugh and everybody smile, and
He was
a
a jokester,
prankster.
yeah.
and yet he was
Yeah.
the one that was also roaming around with that Indian hat, basically doing all those red man red. Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to be referencing Peter Pan here. Because,
Yeah,
what makes the red man red? You get it?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, Lord, you really don't want
Okay,
to know.
well, we'll talk about it later.
This
This is another story.
It says right here, it's a little hick town like Bond Temps from Bond Temps from True Blood, but they make it bigger than it actually is.
Right.
That's actually really smart.
Nice shout out to Charlene Harris. Right. I love those.
All right.
The show is terrible.
So for
books
score
are
of
good.
characters, what would you guys give it?
True Blood.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're referencing.
Yeah. I haven't read the books.
The books are awesome. Sorry, tangent.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
have
Ask
the
it.
books?
What would
I
you?
do have some.
Ooh, okay.
Now I'm interested in this True Bloods book now.
Yeah.
All right. So what would you guys rate this category of characters?
4. Because, I mean...
The one gal, Paul's girlfriend, not Paul, that's the second movie. In the third one, so it's like Rick? Is it Rick? And what's the gal's name with the fluffy brown hair. What's her name? She establishes the vaguest of connections. Remember, because when she was a little girl, she fell asleep outside.
I don't like that.
And
that
she
whole
ran
story
into Jason, tried to kill her or something.
Wow.
That's the only cohesive connection to Jason from the previous film.
That just reminds me of how horrible the acting is.
I know, it was terrible. I'm going to say 4.
Oh, yeah, me
but
too.
only for Shelley.
I gave it a straight...
I like Shelley.
Shelley and Jason. I mean,
you want to know the strange thing is? I'm going to give it a straight up 2.
A 2.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
The only redeeming quality is Jason. Right. That's it. Shelley, waste of time.
I feel that Jason his look, toxic Avenger-esque, was way better than in the previous, with the pillowcase. Oh, God.
Oh, God, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
That was
music.
progress. Music.
Barely even changed from the last movie.
Right.
No, and the other music, like the...
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the actual...
What?
Genre music.
Okay, hold the phone. It says right, Phoenix Fire states that Crystal Lake in the Friday universe is actually neighbors to Haddonfield, Illinois. From Halloween. And Springwood. And along with Springwood.
Oh, it's something in the water.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's crazy.
As in the comics, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, they go into detail how short the distance is because look how close they were together in the movie Freddy versus Jason.
So either it's a government conspiracy or there's something crappy in the water making people whack.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe that technically all these horror movie villains are all in the same universe.
That too.
And
if that's the case, then that world's screwed.
Something in the water,
That world is screwed if that really is true, and that means they have to deal with Jeepers Creepers, Hellraiser. God.
So
Jeepers Creepers another good one.
That is a good one, yeah. Is that in every single?
The comic series basically goes into detail.
Who runs the comic? Is that like one singular? Or is it like Marvel and...
It says right here, the best part of the soundtrack was the opening, and that was it. It has a disco vibe when we see Pamela's head.
Yes, it does. True fact.
Okay, so they did update the theme song in that case.
Tiniest bit.
Yeah.
It was very true to the era.
But honestly,
very true to the era.
But still, it's actually kind of interesting that all of them exist in the same universe.
So I'm saying, is that like, are all these movies from the same production company?
No, different production companies. It's just that a bunch of fans. Yeah, the comic book series basically helps connect them all.
Right. Okay.
And good lord, it's actually kind of amazing how they are connected.
That's cool. That is cool. I like that.
Oh yeah. Phoenix Fire also says this one because of that mentioning of the disco. Jason's gonna do the hustle.
Oh yeah.
That would be. Oh my God. That's.
I've actually seen a GIF or I don't know what you call it. Yes.
Actually, if you guys want to see him dancing as well as singing, watch Slash Street Boys.
There you go. I was like, that one that Mr. Retro shows
yeah.
Around,
because they actually did a recent one where Gonna Die by My Knife. But, larger than life.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That was... funny.
And actually, there's a lot of other stuff. Check out the channel, The Merkins, if you want to see more details into what they do. They do live streams of music and all that. Talk to their fans, answer questions, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. I actually did ask a question on their stream once about what was your favorite horror movie that
parody?
Aside from your own. So I think it was pretty interesting.
That is.
So yeah, in terms of music, what would you guys rate this?
I'm gonna give it a 6. Because it had the disco update, and I think that's fun.
What about you?
I would say a 5. Besides that update, just the music in general throughout the movie was...
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
The music
it was so bad, I didn't even notice the disco reference in the theme song.
No, but we did. The second it came on, we were like, oh, it's very jazzy.
In general, though, the music throughout the movie... unrelated is atrocious.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh.
Now we're going on to design. Okay, now this is where I'm actually going to give some praise. Because, man, did they do some really good stuff. Except for one kill in particular. Mainly with Jason squeezing the head of one of the victims. Using a paper mache
His eye popped
head.
out.
That is total and absolute crap.
Yes, that was pretty gross.
That was the one time I'm saying that there's no way anyone could get
Right,
away with
that's what I
that
asked
one.
her. I was like, he must be like superhuman, or
No,
where's
it's not.
the
No,
strength
it's
coming
not
from?
that.
To be honest, though,
no.
I didn't even like that guy.
No, here's the thing. That's not what disturbed me. It was the fact that the head was made out of paper mache. How could anyone look at that and say, "Oh, that looks like a real head"?
True.
Even Evil Dead does a better job than that movie ever did.
Okay, don't go that far.
Yes, I'm gonna go that far.
Right.
At least Evil Dead makes it creative and actually explains what's going on with their bodies. Like, remember how that whole pen gets injected into her foot?
Yeah.
That took an hour to animate. I'm not even joking. That whole thing took an hour to animate. They
was
wanted
it
to make
worth
the
it?
detail work.
Yeah, really.
The practical effects were some of the best in that movie. So, if they could get away with that being in the same damn decade and same time period as
They could have tried
Friday
harder.
3, why couldn't they do it in that film?
Evil
true.
Dead most certainly is an intriguing and
far
interesting.
superior.
It's a fantastic movie.
But I wouldn't go straight to
Okay, screw you both.
Fantastic.
Because it also resulted in a
Getting
great
super
remake.
excited about it.
The remake was good.
Exactly. It resulted in a great remake, which
Right.
was very rare. The only remakes
Have
for
you seen the remake?
horror
I
movies.
saw the second movie, yes.
No, the remake though.
The remake, no.
the
No, the
current
remake is
one.
good.
No.
It is very good.
Actually, here's the
That's
thing.
that one with that girl, right?
Yes, she is
We'll
Ash
watch
in
it.
this
Very
case.
good.
No
Yes,
longer,
very good.
Oh,
Yeah, in this particular
Intriguing.
in this case,
girl power.
in this particular case though, I'm just gonna say outright that Evil Dead had one, and actually, I'm even gonna state this: Friday the 13th was a great remake for what it was worth. It had a much more wild man like Freddy, who actually hunted his victims down, which honestly I thought was more threatening than anything else.
Right.
So,
True.
so in a way, I think they did do a good job of that. So it proves that a remake could be possible in this scenario. But yeah, with part 3 and the design, I love the kills,
No.
except for, like I said, the head thing. That honestly, the whole paper mache head was absolute crap.
Puginator made a really good, what's the word for it?
Makes a
She
good
noticed
point.
that, a very good point, yes. She noticed that the kills were slower in the third movie. Like, he took his
Definitely.
time creeping up. Like, he
He
creeped
was
up.
more methodical in this.
Yes,
Yes.
more methodical. That's a good.
That's
a
the
good word. Yeah.
All right, so so what would you guys rate the design of the film?
It didn't look as similar, in my opinion, to the sets of the first two. And if we were going for cohesive, I don't like that because it doesn't look. It doesn't look like it's part of the same universe, in my opinion.
Honestly,
It's-
at least it's better than the time that when Jason threw someone into a tree and they left a bloody smiley face.
I didn't
Where the hell did
notice
the
that
pen
part.
go?
I don't know. I don't like it as much.
I'd probably say a 4.
So you're gonna say a 4?
But I in
like.
general didn't. I
the-
wasn't impressed.
I mean, they had a different set.
So-
They took the characters out to the bar for that.
What
brief
about you?
moment. I'm gonna say like a 3.
Actually, for the amount of gore and what they did and with the practical effects and everything, even though I do hate that particular one
The
kill,
kills. He's
The
right.
kills
I have to
Right.
say I'm gonna
kills
give it a
are
little
more
bit higher, and I'm gonna
impressive.
give it a 7.
The handstand kill was like, wow.
Like I said, it had some memorable kills.
That's
I actually
right.
thought
Fair
the guy
point.
was nude doing the handstand, but then
We had to rewind it
we had
just to make
rewind it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically
He
just
had
cut right
jeans
through the
on.
pants.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But I was
Um,
like, can you imagine
Right.
doing
Oh,
a handstand and walking
oh,
nude with your
um,
dongadong?
Right.
Like,
Hey guys,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
hey guys, here's a question from Phoenix Fire. Friday the 13th remake focused too on family, not enough on the serial killer. It was mostly obsession. What do you guys think of on that for the Friday the 13th remake?
I haven't seen that one yet, but
I would have to agree. But you know what, though? It told a story.
Yeah, not to
It
mention
had
it
to.
brought Alice
and
back.
so
in the
much of the
did it?
time,
Yeah.
so much of the time, they don't put enough
story
into it to
Right.
even understand.
character development.
Yeah, character development.
Yeah, basically in Friday the 13th remake, that after Alice killed Pamela Voorhees, she kind of started losing her mind a little bit to the
Okay.
point where eventually she passed away I think maybe overdose or something on medication. Mm-hmm. But her eventually her daughter, along with her friends, in the beginning of the movie, after they all die, she's the one that gets captured by Jason, not killed.
Okay. Well, I think Phoenix has a good point in that, it might be a little irritating that they focused more on the story and the character just because it's a franchise, it's a slasher franchise. There's supposed to be kills. There's supposed to be like the trope, if you will, and if there's not a really good balance, it would annoy me too if it wasn't.
I think
you
have to have a little bit. You have to have
both.
But you have to have both.
I really do take issue with lack of character and lack of plot, so I would like that. But at the same time, it's supposed to be a slasher film. So there needs to be a balance.
There's actually something funny that he just mentioned. Also, what about the cheesy deaths and, of course, Jason being Leatherface's brother in the comics at one point?
That's insane.
I didn't know about that.
What?
There was cheesy. They were cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were far more cheesy. Fun. They were fun, but they were much more cheesy than the first two.
Yeah,
definitely.
The first
kind of ridiculous. Almost.
They were absurd.
Yeah.
The handstand.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He also says Part 3 had the cheesiest deaths in the series, and as the end of Part 3, the final girl, thinking of Pamela, is gonna kill her only for Pamela to jump out of the lake.
Right.
Like, wasn't she beheaded in Part 1?
Yeah, exactly. No kidding.
Yeah. It's actually
it was wasn't it a dream, though?
It's a dream.
Yeah, it was a dream.
It says right here, also, Crystal Lake is near...
But that's a tradition.
Oh my goodness.
It is.
The foolish final girl getting into a canoe, floating out into the lake.
Thinking she's all peaceful
and
good.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Actually, here's something... mentioning about that whole statement with Leatherface and Jason there. Also, Crystal Lake is near Texas due to Leatherface. In a comic, Jason was attacked at Camp Crystal Lake, and Leatherface finds him, takes him home, and Jason thinks he's Leatherface's brother until the family goes after Jason to point out that Jason attacks Leatherface, then escapes back to Crystal Lake.
Wow. Were they going to eat him?
I'm now very interested to look at this comic book series. It sounds really fun.
I haven't. I don't know, but I haven't. I've not done it.
That would be super
gross.
Yeah.
I haven't actually read the comic book, so
I may have to check out the comic books now. All right, so now we're gonna finally go on to the last category.
That's an interesting.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, we have to check.
We have to check that out.
Yeah, I have to look at that.
But
too,
he gets away. Of course, he gets away. That's squirrely Jason.
He gets away.
He's always getting away.
Yeah.
Normally, that almost sounds like more like Chucky in this case, not really Jason. Because Jason will just take hits.
I was afraid of Chucky my entire life until I watched it with you not so recently, and I'm like, wow, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
Nah, trust me, I was scared of him back when I was younger, and
little,
nowadays I have to admit.
Dolls are creepy. Come on.
Also, I have to mention this in the movie that how that lady gets hit with a hammer? That's technically a toy hammer. How in the world she basically gets hit with a toy hammer and she walks backwards, tosses herself out the window, and doesn't fall the same way she came out?
Right.
Seriously.
Plot hole.
No, and this basically is like,
completely.
How could anyone be this clumsy?
Right. Did
this literally came from a toy hammer? How can anybody be this clumsy?
Maybe he had superhuman toy strength.
No, I meant the toy hammer itself.
No, I know, but
that shouldn't have done anything at all.
But like his supernatural force behind it,
He never showed anything like that in the movies.
All right, well then it's just a terrible.
It was just her being a complete moron and throwing herself out the window. That was mainly her fault. I feel more like it was her fault entirely in that whole scenario.
It's just embarrassing that you died because you're clumsy.
That's pretty bad.
That's pitiful.
Let me see. For the atmosphere of this movie, I gotta say it's just basically cut and dry. It's the same stuff over and over.
It's the same regurgitated filler.
Luckily enough, they did start trying to change things up in parts 4, 5, and 6, but that's pretty much it. In part 3, it's just another rehash.
They're just cashing in on the franchise.
Yeah,
they didn't give it as much respect as they should have.
Yeah. So
the only thing I like about that movie is Shelley. That's it. I mean, I don't like him as a person.
Oh, I like the bug.
Well,
The VW bug.
that they kept that going.
I just like the VW bug.
I had to give.
You
I
know
was
what?
waiting for you to do that. We were watching the movie. I was waiting for you to punch me.
Yeah, and that whole scene with him going back, the whole crashing of the
Yeah.
windshield and stuff. That was just like, ugh. That was so like.
Oh, I
that
love
was
the
like
bikers. Their outfits. I have to say, their costumes. They had
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oh my
best
God.
costumes.
Yeah.
That was
True.
great.
Oh, and I just realized from the last statement with the remakes that I was talking about a little bit ago, Carrie has 4.
Wow, that's
A
insane.
TV remake, an actual remake afterwards. Oh, wait, actual remake? No. It was 3. It was 3.
3, I think.
And then they had a sequel,
Okay.
The Rage Carrie 2.
Rage.
Which, honestly, that was really stupid.
I liked it.
It's
was
more like,
fun.
why would you ever want to make a sequel for that one?
Well,
I think
I
the
think
remake
no
was
matter
okay,
what,
but it's never gonna
Carrie
compare to
was
the
the
original.
best.
Right. The
Yeah.
First one was the best.
So I want to give respect to the one biker, the African American guy with the Black Widow patch on his vest. He continues the trope of the final girl having to be saved by a guy.
Right.
Bigger,
Even though the
stronger.
dude was a complete dick.
Right.
Yeah,
and
totally.
there you go. Let's talk about the ending. So, right. So what is her name? That character, the final girl. I can't remember her name.
Her name is
Christy.
Chrissy.
Or something.
Chrissy.
Christy, whatever her name is, girl with nice hair. So she stabs Jason in the head because the one biker guy gets annihilated, and she has an opportunity, right? And then she goes out on the lake. Right?
Oh, about the window scene.
So Jason's
Yeah.
suddenly in the window, looking like so toxic Avenger-y, with the blood coming down his forehead, right? And then Mama Voorhees comes and gets her, right? And it's all a dream, right? And then they show at the end that Jason is laying on the ground in the barn. Like, he didn't get up and go to the cabin.
No.
Right? So they imply that he's dead. Was that supposed to be the
No.
final movie?
No, that was 4. 4 they actually kill him.
Before they actually kill him. Because they imply, though,
Because
that at the end
5
of the
is-
third one.
I think-
Because in Friday the
She,
13th...
like, imagined
She was,
all of
I
that.
think she was delusional.
Right.
Delirious.
Delirious.
Right.
Right.
Also,
When she
in
saw
part
her-
5, it's an imposter. Part 6 is when he comes back as an immortal.
Okay.
Alright, it says right here, read, and this is actually for the comic book he was mentioning.
Okay.
Read Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, then read the sequel, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, The Nightmare Warriors, as it shows what if Jason became human without deformities and was a functional member of society.
He'd be a sociopath.
Hold on, it says right here, it has a big twist at the end concerning Freddy, and he says you're gonna basically your pants, as it's something no one expects. It's one heck of a plot twist, apparently.
Intriguing.
Okay, that's
And there's
interesting.
also there's also
Nightmare
one where
Warriors.
she
That's a great
and of
title.
course talking about the final girl, how she attacks his face, but all she did was crack that mask.
Okay. I just think it's intriguing that he's in the window and
I think
like she
that was-
imagined all of that.
That was just
apparently.
yes. I think that was
Okay.
just an illusion because
So-
she was like so out.
Yeah.
She was
She was out of it. She's
Yeah.
in shock.
All right, so what would you guys rate this
Overall?
for the atmosphere of the movie?
Atmosphere. I don't think it had as much of a creepy vibe about it at all. I liked that the kills were, slower. That he creeps up, really.
I'd say like a 5.
Atmosphere.
Not great, but not horrible.
Yeah,
You know?
5. That's fair. 5.
I'm giving it a freaking 3. As you can tell, I was very disappointed in this
brutal.
film.
I was
Brutal
by
judge.
far out of all 3. That one by far I was the most disappointing.
Crap.
Yeah.
All right, stand by. I'm gonna look this up. Here we go.
That's crap.
It gets chilly down here.
Chili.
Now you know what I have to deal with when I'm working.
Yes, I do concur. Well, at least during the summer. No,
Yeah.
during the winter too, though. But at least he has his little heater.
In Tasmania. Well, what is the premise of the fourth?
Holy hell.
What is it? Where did we land?
Plug in the ear. Your score originally, you said you were going to give it a 30. Your score was 24.
She thought about it and was like, no.
Billy Peddle, your original score was 35. Your score now is 23.
Yeah, it's terrible.
For my score, was originally 30.
15. No.
You were close. It was 16.
Oh my gosh.
I hated this movie.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
It was
terrible.
by far, in my personal opinion, the worst Friday the 13th movie
Right.
out of all of them. And that's saying a lot coming from a bunch of those. And it says right here, actually, part 3, Jason was supposed to have died, but he became such a cash cow, and Paramount wants to take advantage of it, hence why we got part 4 and the other movies.
Yeah. See,
So technically,
I
he would
thought
have
so.
died.
See,
Heck,
Heck,
was.
even Sean Cunningham said Jason should have not been the killer in the movies after Pamela dying. They should have made it the final girl and pass it on to each final girl.
Oh,
That would have been
nice.
interesting.
Such
be cool.
Yeah.
As such, he can't stand the sequels.
That makes
And
sense.
Sean Cunningham was the guy who created Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, that that would have been way more
Interesting.
The fact that it was Mama Voorhees was like, what?
Actually,
Yeah.
if you think
That was so
if you
cool.
think about it, it would have done something that was almost similar to Scream,
Right,
which came out over a decade later.
right.
Which was each person became a new Scream,
Right.
new Ghostface.
Passing it along, passing it down.
Yeah, even the the Scream MTV show did the same thing. When the
Right.
main killer died, another one took their place.
Stepped up.
But the
Yeah.
actual victim, the main person that they're after stays the same.
Stays the same.
In
Yeah.
this
Hardcore.
case, in this
Sydney,
case, yeah.
get it, girl.
Yeah, in
right.
this case, though, Sean Cunningham was literally making the final girl the killer, which
Right.
honestly
That
would have
way
been
more
an amazing
interesting.
series of
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
That would
I
have been way
agree.
more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says right here, he was one part of creating Friday the 13th. There is another person who also helped with creating it as well. But yeah, it sounds like that Sean Cunningham was the one who really wanted that whole storyline to keep going like that.
That would have been way more interesting.
Not to mention-
and very original, because I can't, off the top of my head, think of very many female villainesses
Me
from that
neither.
era. That
Unless
would
you're
have been
counting
epic.
the most recent Doctor Sleep, which I
Especially
highly
the ones
recommend
that
watching.
stay
Right, that was
alive.
excellent. That was an excellent film. Yeah.
But yeah,
That
honestly,
would have been more intriguing. and
honestly, it
more-
would have definitely been interesting to see how the evolution of the new serial killer after another would have done. So I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we're done with those movies, now we're gonna do the. Oh, hold on, haven't you heard of the infamous Friday the 13th lawsuits?
No.
Not surprising though, considering that this is also around the same time frame as Silent Night, Deadly Night getting sued, getting obscenity charges, and forcing them to literally shut down all releases of the films.
Why?
I might have to take a break because.
Hold on, nope, just
He's having a heart attack
I
upstairs.
know, he'll be fine. All right, so now we're gonna talk about Retrovolution. Now, here's a question: if you guys were to be taking over any one of these movies, let's just do part 3, considering that one was the worst. What would you fix about it and why?
Better actors,
Everything.
location.
Could I say that? Every
Yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah.
So you basically would restart it from the ground up.
Except for Shelley. I think
Except-
that
yeah.
he's an ass, but he established,
Yeah.
and the way that he dies, he totally deserves
And
it.
I think the way that
that
they
he establishes the look.
exactly
Right.
that
needs
has to stay.
That's it.
But,
Everything else
yeah,
can go.
yeah.
Start
Alright.
from scratch. I think that Phoenix Fire's idea, the original,
Yeah.
the original director's
Oh
idea,
yeah,
of-
Sean Cunningham's idea for
Right.
each
Yep.
final girl being
that would have been
A perfect-
amazing. Yeah.
Like,
My
way
vote
to-
is for that.
Yeah.
See, why don't they respect the original writers? You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's at least, I'm going to do at least 3 questions because even though there were a lot of them were for, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, which we will do episodes in the future on that. So we're going to mainly do the 3 questions that were the most asked questions for Friday the 13th.
Okay.
As well as, of course, 1 question mainly from a whole bunch of people who were asking.
Okay.
For Friday the 13th, what was your favorite kill in the Friday the 13th movies that we were
The
reviewing
3
now?
that we've watched.
Yeah, the 3 that you guys watched. What is your personal favorite?
My favorite. I like the up under the through the bed. That's
That
cool.
and I think the
the
most
hammock scene.
yeah I think also the one where it seemed like it was like the most graphic one where he was Billy or was it Billy?
It's Billy.
It
Yeah.
was hung up on the
And yeah.
yeah.
I
that
have to
one
s-
was
With
pretty
the arrows and
yeah.
Because that was like the worst
Yeah.
in the first movie.
Yeah.
That was the worst kill.
Yeah,
That
I
was the
think.
most brutal.
Yep.
That
Got a
was
chance to look
impressive,
up
yeah.
lawsuits. and it's why we haven't had any new Friday movies. Oh wow.
Oh, that's sad.
For me, it's Pamela Voorhees' death. Mainly the beheading, and of course
That
how
was
she's like
pretty
this,
good.
and
That's
she
You're
falls over.
right, yeah.
That's a
but her
pretty good
hands, like she clenches her fists. You're right. True facts.
You're right. That was a
Cool.
good one too.
I find the under the bed, up through the bed
It's
thing
creepy.
very disturbing.
Yes.
Another one
That's
I
like a
like
legit
is
nightmare.
Another one I like is of course when what's his name, Mark
Mark, the
gets
wheelchair
hit in the head,
guy, yes.
gets hit in the head with a machete and just goes all the way down. It just
That was so gimmicky.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that.
That was
It was
gimmicky.
funny. All right, so the next question is, if you were to make your own sequel, what would you do?
Well, now that we've heard,
The true
That-
plot.
yes, I would
The
say
final girl
that's
becoming the killer.
perfect.
That is.
Yeah.
That works
Yeah.
perfectly because
I mean, I wouldn't have even
driven
known that.
insane. She's
I didn't even think of that.
traumatized, right?
Yeah,
That's.
but yeah, so I would say that they should have stuck with the original.
Yeah.
All right,
Rock on.
yeah,
Get it, girl.
definitely on that one. Yeah, I actually am with them on this one. I think that they should have stuck with Sean Cunningham's original script because, good lord,
That's
That would have been
actually-
so
that would have
impressive.
been honestly.
And nobody would have seen that coming.
And that's actually
Alice. It was Alice.
Not only
that's
that-
actually
Right?
such a that's so strange.
It's so dark.
Why wouldn't they do
Why
that?
would they go with it, right?
Yeah, that
Probably-
is such a good.
Was there any backlash from Pamela Voorhees being the original killer
No.
when it came out?
No,
Like,
because-
strange enough, no.
people liked that it was a woman.
I don't understand why they didn't take
Yeah,
the.
it's totally
yeah,
confusing. Because
It's surprisingly,
yeah.
it was the actresses who hated those.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
The actresses, not anyone else.
Well, and back then, women that partook in those slasher films
Mhm.
definitely got blacklisted.
Yeah, they
Definitely got some
crapped on,
backlash
for sure.
for partaking.
If you think about it, even black actors have those problems too. African American actors as well, because good lord, they end up being normally the whole
First
trope
one
that
to die.
black one
First one to
dies.
die.
Yeah, it's
But,
terrible.
Black guy
then
always dies,
Shout
it's
out to
something.
the African American gentleman from the
Took
biker
it-
gang.
Yeah, took him to
With the
the
Black
end of
Widow
the,
patch. Yeah, he
end
did.
of
He
the
came
yeah.
back. He
Yeah.
Not
got,
to
like,
mention, there are
partially
also
killed.
other films that
And
were
he saved the
African
final
Americans
girl,
have survived.
so.
Get Out's one of them. House on Haunted Hill's another.
Oh, I
Right.
love that movie.
The remake actually has a black guy actually survive, which again, good props on that one.
Right. Let's break the.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and it says right, it says right here, it says right here, well, I gotta run, but it was nice to meet you ladies and be part of a discussion, and I would make a sequel where Pamela is resurrected and Jason has a moral dilemma because mommy is killing his victims, and it results into a death battle between his mom and son.
Ah, good one, good
Nice.
one. And it was nice to meet you too.
Absolutely. Rock on, Phoenix. We'll see you next time, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Honestly, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And the third and final question for just mainly the Friday the 13th movies, if you guys were given a chance to be in the movie, what part would you want to play yourself as?
Ooh.
Well, I already told you.
You want to be final girl.
I'm a final girl because I am. First of all, I'm a kind of a goody two shoes in that I like to follow the rules, but also because
No, Star Wars is not tonight. Remember, we moved it to Tuesday.
also I
And
watch
technically
a lot of
this week's
stuff and
horror.
I feel like I would know what to do.
Well, if I
This
would-
week, today is Friday, Saturday, so it's gonna be fighting games.
fighting games.
Continue.
If I didn't get to be a final girl, which I want to be, I would like to be that one character that everybody loves that gets killed really brutally. Like, damn, isn't that sad?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me-
Billy, that was Billy Petal.
For me,
Right?
For me,
His
I
head rolling on down the hill.
for me, I would love to be the storyteller in that one.
Oh, yeah,
Because I
the
feel like I
narrator.
would fit very
You
well
would.
in that
You
role.
Oh,
definitely
totally.
could do that.
And it says right here, Phoenix Fire says, I'll be the killer as I get to return from the next movie.
Ah.
Touche.
Yep.
Touche.
True enough on that. I think actually, with my height and everything, I think I could pull off a killer.
Oh, you could.
Yeah, you could.
You've got the Jason vibe about you.
Yeah, so I think I could work in a Friday the 13th as a Jason this time.
Oh my God, we could all dress up like the characters from the movie for Halloween.
I'll have to dress up as maybe Jason or something.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I want to be Pamela. That's such a great
I
sweater.
thought Pamela was always shorter than Jason, so wouldn't she work out better?
She would. Puginator would have to be
Yeah.
Do you have a knit sweater?
You'd have to be Alice in this.
sure.
You would have to be Alice, honestly, because
Let's be Alice.
because you're the only one that has the blonde hair out of
That's
Alice.
true. That's true.
Okay, and here is the final question before we end this stream episode of RetroActive's Corner. And this is coming from a lot of people. What are your top 3 favorite horror movies of all time?
Top 3.
There's so many.
Ooh, this is a really tough one.
It is. I had to, and you should have given us like
Yes.
a moment to think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, that's the
Okay,
reason why I
well,
love the
one
show.
of my top favorites is I will always love Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
Great classic.
That's like The Birds.
The Birds.
Yes.
Alfred.
Actually, she
And-
happens to have lived nearby the location
Yes,
of that.
we
Yes,
did.
Bodega Bay.
That's home.
Tamales.
Love it.
Yeah. Point Reyes.
Actually, we
also-
technically, and my dad was actually stationed in that area
Yeah.
when he was
Right.
in the Coast Guard, so.
The Birds is my number 1. I think there's a
Exorcist.
modern one called
So,
Slither that's
hold on.
like ridiculous.
Alright, so yours
Night of the
is
Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Exorcist and
The Birds.
The Birds.
Alright, what about
I don't-
yours?
I
I got
more
a
like-
classic. I got a fanatical religious, and I have a. Wait. I'll have to think about that for a second.
My horror stuff that I like is the cheesy, like silly, funny, not actually scary at
Jennifer's
all.
Body.
Jennifer's Body.
Yes.
Bang. I like Ghost Ship. That one's fun.
Yes, I like that.
Slither by James Gunn is probably my
Ginger
number 2.
Snaps.
Yeah,
I love
Actually,
Ginger Snaps.
Ginger
here's
Snaps.
something for, Slither, James Gunn. He's the same guy who made the,
Star-Lord, right?
Yeah, he basically made the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yes.
movies.
So Slither, I think, is part of that genre of like not taking yourself entirely too serious
Yes,
in a
yeah.
horror movie, which is my favorite way of going about it. So I'm going to say The Birds 1, Slither 2, and 3. Can you say Jaws? Is that
Yep.
horror? Jaws, the first one.
Jaws works.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead. That's what I've always been intrigued with.
Right.
The whole zombie thing.
Interview with the Vampire is a classic. It's not super
I
scary
like
to
Pride
me.
and the Prejudice and Zombies, but I prefer the books.
Right, the book. Is
Okay, for me, this is really tough because there's a lot of good ones.
Tremor.
Tremor's definitely is going to
Piranha!
Ooh,
Love that movie.
be... Tremor's
Sorry.
definitely number 3. Number 2, Nightmare on Elm Street. Entirely.
That's a fun one. That was fun. I like
I
it.
originally was thinking of putting like Birds or Psycho as my number 1. But then I remember years ago we actually went over to a movie theater, me and Puginator, and we actually saw the movie Deliver Us from Evil.
Oh, that's good.
In my opinion, and I can't believe I'm saying this is actually one of my favorite horror movies of all time because not only did they manage to do the story great, the characters are awesome, the horrors were mainly jump scares and through visual effects that they had, mainly with how they reacted and everything, it felt like someone was possession and all that. It felt real, which was... Because here's the thing. It's very
disturbing.
hard
Very disturbing.
to scare me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not even joking because
Yeah.
ever since I watched so many of the horror movies that she's made me go through, I've almost become desensitized
Broken.
with horror movies and
In
scares
such a
all that.
sweet, sweet way.
Yeah.
Thoughtful.
Here's the thing though.
So thoughtful.
I still get jump scared, but it's mainly
Right.
just getting jumped, not
Right.
really scared.
Right.
Like in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
you
it
see
is
that
more of a
straight.
jump,
jump
factor.
scare,
Yeah, but honestly
Window is
though,
pretty disturbing.
that was one of those few horror movies which, in my personal opinion, creeped me the hell out.
Drag Me to the Hell was pretty fun.
And
That was fun.
the other one, the only other ones I know of that scared the crap out of me
Killer
was
Clowns from Outer Space. Hello.
Actually-
yeah, frightened the crap
actually,
out of
I
me.
don't think I've seen that one.
You
all
don't
right,
want to.
here's one question, and this was gonna be personally for me. What is the scariest horror film you've ever seen?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Exorcist
Really?
for me. Exorcist
I
for
saw it
me.
when I was little, and
Why?
it ruined clowns for me. I had no issue with them.
Then why
until I
not
saw
watch
that.
it? It's
Oh,
more
okay.
legitimate.
That didn't scare me at all, though.
Exorcist, because I was very young when I saw it, and it was religiously based, and it was just horrifying. World War Z.
Oh, that's a fun one, though.
It is,
I
but
think
it's
the
very.
premise of Rear Window. That one, because it's your neighbors, like, literally, that one is frightening because there are no actual, like, supernatural forces or monsters. It's just The Guy Next Door.
Kind of like Strangers.
Right. That one's very disturbing. That's one of my all-time favorite Hitchcock films, but that one I feel is psychologically disturbing.
Well, and Strangers is based on a true event.
As a classic. Right.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, one of them is, yes, The Exorcist. That movie terrified the hell out of me as a kid. I still have nightmares.
I have the uncut version, and it is nightmarish more than you have any idea.
Icky.
Oh, Lord.
There's one part in it where she goes down the stairs in what do you call that?
Oh,
crab?
I've seen that part.
Yeah,
Backwoods crab.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
No,
that freaked me out.
The other one was, when I was a little kid, it was Jaws.
Yeah,
that one scared the heck out of me when I was a kid.
When I was little,
Carrie, the end of Carrie,
called,
when the hand comes out of the grave.
That is disturbing.
I screamed, and I think my parents took me to Denny's afterwards. I would not stop crying the whole time I was in Denny's. But I was very young.
God.
I was very young when I saw it.
There's a movie called
Actually,
Orca.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember.
Actually, okay.
That made me afraid to sit on the toilet because I thought that the killer whale was.
Oh, then you're really gonna hate Dreamcatcher. Because actually, I don't know what they're called, but I know it's really.
Well, I have that movie.
Yeah, it's actually
We'll
very funny,
it.
but it's also pretty disturbing.
No,
you're an adult now. You know that things aren't coming out of the toilet.
The third one.
The fear irrationally.
The third one is and I used to be scared of this, not anymore though, because I actually think it's pretty cool. Stephen King miniseries It, mainly because of Tim Curry as the freaking clown.
Yeah. He doesn't frighten me, because I know his face is so familiar that I see him as Tim Curry.
Compare him to the new movie.
Oh yeah, that's
silly. They're both.
Because here's the thing, and I actually got this inspiration from the Nostalgia Craig episode I was watching on It, because he literally shows a scene where he's like, "Hey there, Georgie," and the actress he hires, she's like, "Nope." I'm like, yeah, if you look at this freaking dude, he looks like a demon.
Yeah,
if you look at Tim Curry, he looks like a legitimate clown.
Yeah, he's pretty creepy.
Actually, here's the crazy thing.
It's
I
his
actually
voice
showed
and what he says, because he's like trying to endear children, which is like
a
creepy.
very dark
it's almost
concept,
like the sexual predator out there in a van,
right,
luring children in with candy and
a clown makeup.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the strange things is there was two Girl Scouts that I met a few days before this review, and I was actually asking him, and I showed him a picture of both Pennywises. Who would you fall for more, the Pennywise from the miniseries or the one from the movies? They immediately pointed to Pennywise from the miniseries,
right?
Because he's a legitimate clown,
right?
And he could actually pull it off and kill you and get away with it.
I think the teeth are worse in that one.
The teeth are worse, yeah.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
Where in the new movie, you could tell it's CG.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
And not only that, even though I do like the actor, he does a really good job as Pennywise, but you just can't beat Tim Curry.
See, that's where the
remember that dance he does in that freaking movie, in the new movie? I'm like, Tim Curry would never stoop that low. All he does is make jokes.
That's true, he would not do that.
Because at least he had some dignity in his work.
Right.
At least when he plays a terrifying killer clown, he is going to be a terrifying killer clown.
The CGI is pretty, it's laughable.
Some of it's actually really good, like the woman in the painting.
Yeah, that was creepy. Yeah.
And of course the headless man running around, or the hands coming out of the garage door. But yeah, basically.
But the practical effects are always going to be more disturbing.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, though, Stephen King's miniseries It was the one that actually terrified me the most when I was a kid until I got older.
Right.
And then I really had an appreciation for all they did, especially since it had so much personality in that miniseries more than the movie ever did.
Right. Psycho scared the crap out of me when I was little.
Oh, Lord. Psycho did not scare me, but it intrigued me, mainly because of just how Norman Bates was thinking.
Well, I saw it when I was like 11, I think. It was on TV. And my mom had to sit in the bathroom when I took a shower for about a week.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Good Lord. All right, that's it for today, guys. I want to thank Puginator 2020 and Billy Peddle for joining us here today for an episode of horror movies, mainly the first 3 Friday the 13th. Are you guys interested in coming back for next week's episode, or do you want to wait for another position for that?
We'll come back. We'll have fun.
Alright, so that means the next 3 movies you guys have to research is the Halloween movies.
Oh,
Halloween
okay.
1,
Okay,
2,
that would be
and 3.
That won't be hard at all. I
Yeah.
like the first one a lot.
And hopefully, Dad will be here. And
Oh yeah, we may even
deal
ask
with
him
the
to
cat.
join in on this
No,
one.
The dogs. He could babysit the dogs.
No, I think he actually could join in because
No.
he has watched the Halloween movies.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
No
it was
worries.
fun.
If you guys like what we do, please follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook. We do streams from, look at that, Friday to Tuesday. I'm sorry, the schedule's changed over the years. It's over the months, and it's been crazy. Also, tonight we're going to do Fighting Game Saturday. It's going to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you want to join in for that one, that'd be nice. Tomorrow we have Roblox from 12 to 2. Sunday we have a brand new game we're going to try, an RPG called Warframe, MMORPG from what I've heard, and I already set my account and everything, so all I have to do is invite Rye Guy and his friend Room Phantom, and we're going to do a stream on that. On Monday we have D&D over at Ghost Quarters. We're going to do it from possibly either starting at 3 or 4, and then it's going to end at 7 because it sounds like they're been really busy right at the tail end, and they're trying to get everyone out of the store sometimes, especially with how they're trying to ring up business. If you want to check out Ghost Quarters, check out Airway Heights. Also, on Tuesday, it's going to be Horror Tuesday. We're going to be doing Zombie Army 4. I'm actually very excited. Me and Rye Guy are going to try to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Woohoo!
Best of
So
luck
this is
to
going to be
you, Mr.
interesting.
Retro.
It's going to be interesting. And of course, from 12 to 2 on that day, we're doing Backyard Baseball 09. We're going to continue on our season. We haven't really been necessarily doing good in that department, but we're gonna try to win a World Series again after our 2 losses last time. So hopefully we don't lose this time around. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, you two. Do you guys have any final words to say before you head out?
We had a great time.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Mr.
thanks for having
Retro.
us.
All right. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you all next time. And this is Mr. RetroActive signing out.
That was good.
That was fun.
As long as I'm not on camera, I'm cool.